Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the International 8 group stages. We're continuing our coverage here, and we're hopping into a wonderful game. You know why?
Why?
Because it's Winstrike versus Fnatic.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty good reason.
They're both insane.
Two teams need some wins. Both of them, honestly. Fnatic maybe not so much as Winstrike does. But, yeah, we'll get back on the Fnatic train. I feel like we're getting quite a few of their games. Very used to it. Winstrike, I believe this is the first time we're going to get to see them.
Yeah, at least for us. I mean, they've been having a bit of a tough group stage from what I've been able to see. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have 2 wins so far, which has been a little bit rough for them. But, you know, it's what happens occasionally. You can always bring it back. It's a long group stage, and they still do have some games to play. And a great way to start would be taking a game here off of Fnatic. And meanwhile, Fnatic looking to try and secure themselves the spot into the upper bracket, which is where everybody wants to be. Because if you look at both of these groups, there's some scary teams in the bottom 4 of each of them. Obviously, you know, the power rankings shift as the group stage continues on, but it is the type of situation where you run into somebody else on the best of ones that you don't want to.
Yeah, man. Winstrike. Whew. 8 games in a row they have lost. It is time to turn the ship around, figure it out, and try and get a couple wins here. Try and get themselves a little bit of a better seeding. So far, in terms of their strategy, they've been mixing it up a little bit, you know, opening up with some Chen, but that's been removed from the pool by Fnatic. They tried a couple Venge combos, and she has slipped through. So I'm guessing with the Wraith King now picked up from Fnatic for either Universe or Envy, we'll see a Venge +1 here for Winstrike.
Yeah, that seems likely. Venge Weaver was the combo that's obviously been banned out by Winstrike themselves. Other heroes that occasionally have been making the rounds if you don't want to go the Venge route is something like the Silencer. Against the Wraith King, doesn't really feel like it's that much value. So more than likely they'll be picking that up. And then some other team fight oriented hero.
One thing that's nice about the Venge is that it's a support that has an ultimate that's not like some crazy cooldown stuff. Like the ultimate of Venge isn't the important part. It's more about like this minus armor and the constant stun and the annoyance. But if you think about something like the Winter Wyvern, big long cooldown, giant team fighty ulti, those always feel pretty bad against Wraith King because he's just going to come back to life and then you have to somehow kill him again.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
And they are going to go for the Silencer instead. So, you know, we talked about them running a lot of Venge in the past. They've also lost 8 games in a row.
Exactly.
So time to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, can't really disagree on that front.
And I think that you could look at Fnatic as another team that kind of followed that philosophy. I think after the summit, you know, obviously they did well there, but I don't think as well as they probably wanted to. Maybe did a little bit of soul search and tried to figure out what they wanted to go into next. And they've made changes themselves. So maybe Winstrike's going to be able to turn it around here as well.
Yeah, in fact, they have been a team that loves Winter Wyvern. Fairly good against Ursa and his little friends. Can run into some problems if you're not the direct initiation versus the Silencer. It can be hard to afford an item up against it, but as long as you just focus on getting something to cancel it, it's certainly feasible. Like you have good enough lane spam that given space, you can get items for the heroes. So very good choice here for them.
Yeah. Easy peasy. This is the Fnatic that we know and love. And the other thing that you had mentioned in one of the previous games is that it kind of sets up for an Abed Meepo potentially, where this hero taken means that they're not going to be able to run it against you.
Yeah, the easiest counter no longer available to their opponents if they go that route.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, there was the game that we saw earlier today where it was Abed Meepo. He was against Earthshaker, Lich, and Invoker, and he still won. Like, that's crazy, right? This is the heroes that are normally thought of as counters.
Yeah, did not have a lot of trouble. So, Winstrike, though, what do you do at this point? They had a really rough last couple matches. 3 of the last 4 matches were against LGD, EG, and then Liquid. So, you know, it's not that shocking they got 2-0'd in all of those. And they also got 2-0 by VGJ Thunder, which may be a little bit more, you know, not what they were looking for, but it's tough, this Dota 2 game, it turns out.
Winstrike's turn to ban.
Going to be banning out the PL for now. I think that's a hero that's starting to rise a little bit more in prominence. And even though Fnatic have been running a ton of like early aggression type of lineups, it is still the type of thing where you worry about a PL getting out of control or any of those other like hard carries. So makes sense to try and take that one out. Maybe a Spectre potentially.
Just something for your opponents to fall back on for sure.
Winstrike's turn to ban.
All right, they're gonna get rid of so Silencer has like not a lot of friends, right? Maybe like Silencer and Storm Spirit, and then you can see the Silencer and the Bat Rider is another pretty common one. I mean, common in the olden days because it's not very popular anymore. But that hero does seem to be making a little bit of a reprisal, considering he was something like 99.6% picked or banned for like 4 years in Dota.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous stat like that. He was in
10
every single game.
seconds
You guys,
remaining.
if you haven't been around that long, maybe you don't know, but Batrider was the thing, and he was
5
just
seconds
assumed that
remaining.
Batrider would be a competitive pick forever because of his kit, because of the ability to just grab one person and yank him out of a team fight. But I guess he's got enough nerfs. That's just not the case anymore.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see maybe a couple of bans that come out here. It really feels like it needs to be a Batrider game, so like you said, with the Silencer, or against a Necrophos or a Drow or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see him banned out this time around by Fnatic. Winstrike, what else do you really need to be concerned about? You got to be thinking at least a little bit about the Meepo. Even though you do have, I would say that Silencer is kind of an interesting case against Meepo, because if you've confined him, then you're going to disable one of the great, escape mechanisms that he has, which is Poof.
Right.
So I think that it's still a thing you got to be a little bit concerned about.
I'd probably just ban it. I don't see anything else. The only other argument could be maybe the Tiny can have some pretty good follow-ups to Winter Wyvern. It's a decent hero for Fnatic. They can run it mid. They can run it safe lane. They can run it off lane. So that could be a feasible one.
Well, minute left.
Winstrike's
We're going to take out the
turn
Windranger.
to pick.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the other hero. Jeez.
Yeah, that's been very good for DJ. And then really just kind of a nuisance for an Ursa to try and deal with throughout the entire game.
We've been seeing a lot of sort of naked gyrocopters, and I wouldn't mind seeing that potentially out of Silent, considering just his comfort on that hero. If they're looking to go for something a little bit different from what they've been doing previously.
10
I
seconds
think only
remaining.
if it counters. Like,
Really?
I think you got to have something that makes it a really good gyro
5
game still for it
seconds.
to be
Fnatic's
good.
turn to pick.
That is a nice hero who's still in there. So they've picked it once so far this tournament for Winstrike, it looks like. And that's about it. They did not win that game, but I mean, it was a hard one. It's up against EG. They also ran a core bench that game. Okay. Attempted draft strat. I can respect that. Is this setting up for a potential draft strat? No, because we have a Ursa.
10 seconds
Not looking that good.
remaining.
Fnatic, they've also been toying with it a little bit, but
5
what about
seconds remaining.
Enigma? Not really that great looking because we have a Silencer, but can be okay up against the Ursa, of course. Should just be a DJ hero here, whatever we get.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of DJ heroes, he's been tending to just get that Wind Ranger time and again. Again, they could set up for a Meepo if they wanted to, but you don't necessarily have to. And against Dark Willow, the Terrorize is spooky.
Which could be kind of a good Earth Spirit game.
Okay.
Just because, like, really strong laner in the Wraith King gives you some possibilities there that you could just lane the Earth Spirit with it and DJ, Yeah, it's someone who can actually stun Dark Willow through her Shadow Realm, can help control up an Ursa.
Fnatic's had some interesting drafts today too,
Turn
running the
to
Brood
pick.
Mother, running the
Yeah.
Bristleback, and look at you go.
Give me that Earth Spirit. I love it. Love watching DJ Earth Spirit.
You just want to get the highest assist total for your predictions. I know
Also
you.
true, but I really just want to see Dark Willow die when she goes into Shadow Realm because
That's
that
fair.
hero is very annoying at the moment.
Yeah, that hero has been in a lot of the games we've been seeing recently, showing the power of Terrorize. This hero is still just a monster. Of course, Bedlam,
10
solo
seconds
killing
remaining.
potential. You pick up that Yules, things start happening. It's dangerous. Very,
5
very scary.
seconds remaining.
So, Winstrike, how do they deal with an Earth Spirit? Stronger lanes, I guess, but you kind of already have a Silencer, which means that it's not going to happen as effectively.
They've shown their supports too, where it's just like
Yeah.
Dark Willow's not that great in the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the game, and that's where Earth Spirit's really going to be struggling because you just can't offer all that much. Even with a really strong laner, it's not like he is like the
Fnatic's turn to
secondary
pick.
strong force. So
Mirana.
that is a strong core, even in the earliest parts of the lane, though, from the Miranda. And she's also been one of the most successful and most picked heroes so far of the group stage. So definitely one that we're going to be watching out for. I feel like she could just keep on going right through the main event. I don't see a lot of flaws in this hero right now. With like the way we're playing these 2-1-2s, she's a lot of partners that do well with her. Only problem here is they
10
don't have a
seconds
great setup for the
remaining.
arrow or the bramble, really.
But to be honest, we've been seeing a lot of
5
Miranas without
seconds
great
remaining.
setups for arrows still do well and
Yep.
do a ton of work just because of how strong Leap is nowadays in Starstorm.
Gonna have to hope for the old T-ball off the Cold Embrace, but
Yeah.
not the same concern it used to be when it comes to Wyvern players.
Yeah, nobody's really taking that spell anymore, it feels like. At least in the early stages.
Yeah.
Winstrike's
So if there's an Abed hero they
turn to
really want, they'd
ban.
pick it now. Let's say it's an Envy hero they really want. And so they will take the core, or rather the safe lane hero first, at least more than likely for Envy here on the Lone Druid.
Yeah,
Bear
have-
versus Bear.
Have you ever seen Universe play Lone Druid? I feel like I haven't.
No. I was thinking more possibly for Abed mid, depending on the hero, but...
I mean, this is sort of the new
10
look of
seconds
Fnatic,
remaining.
right? You pick a couple team fighters, strong push, lanes
5
that aren't
seconds
really that
remaining.
abusable, and Envy is going to get pseudo-sacked. I mean, Lone Druid alone isn't really that big of a deal, and that's the strength of running the Source Spirit. Or rather, why you can run the Source Spirit is because of a Lone Druid.
Brood is still in.
Ooh.
Which is something they might want to consider banning on Winstrike. I feel like I'm just trying to think, like, ideally, if I was Fnatic, the hero I would want here would be Visage. I would give the Visage to Abed, we get another Helm of the Dominator, and we do that push thing we've seen several times from them, but the Visage is banned out. So another hero I would like would be like the Necrophos, a little bit of sustain kind of a deal, maybe something along those lines, also banned out. So what kind of a replacement hero can give you that same sort of early game pacing?
Fanatics.
A
Turn to
Bloodseeker,
ban.
okay, that's sort of the same thing. And then the other option would be the Abed TA that they played quite a bit. And the only downside is that Winstrike have a chance to directly counter it, but TA just doesn't suffer the same way as she used to. I mean, they've gone 8th pick TA even before for Fnatic.
Yeah, I think that TA sounds really good there. I mean, and the other thing, too, is thinking about what it is that
10
Winstrike want to run
seconds
themselves. And you need to pick something that's not really that counterable in
5
that mid
seconds
lane.
remaining.
So TA feels fairly strong. I can't think of that many things unless you're going to run something like completely out of meta, like a Venomancer or something that completely destroys her. But then you got other problems out of Veno in the mid lane.
Fanatics.
So
Turn
the
to
Huskar
pick.
ban, Ember? Is that what's happening?
Ember or TA. I think TA is just as Huskar needing banning.
Yeah.
Is Clinks banned? No, Clinks is still in. That'd be kind of cool, too.
Huh.
A little bit different, but just a strong hero who we haven't got to see too much because he keeps getting banned out in a lot of our games early on.
Do you need to
10
ban
seconds
Clinks or ban
remaining.
Huskar if you're picking Clicks, though?
No, not necessarily, I suppose, but
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It is the type of hero that'd be pretty nifty in this draft. Multiple tower hitters. You love to see it.
TA. So assuming this is TA for Winstrike, could they go for Brood themselves at that point? Theoretically, Mineski tried that, and then they sent the Brood to the side lane with Isis Ice in that game we were casting. It didn't go too well. Not wanting to send the Brood right up against the TA and just feed her any sort of spiders. Other than that, heroes that have worked well against the TA in the past, you've got the Bloodseeker, but that's been banned out already.
Templar
And there
Assassin.
she is.
You could go
Yes.
Tiny. Tiny's still in the pool here.
It's true. Still not incredible versus TA, really. I mean, it's not... You can do all right.
Yeah, Avalanche is like the main way to burn
Yeah.
through those refractions.
And just like it is annoying cleave and stuff, but it can still be rather difficult to keep on solo killing. And plus, she's still just gonna run in.
10
farm that
seconds
jungle,
remaining.
but- No, Tiny sounds kind of okay.
5
See what
seconds
Winstrike want to go for. It
remaining.
is Iceberg. Iceberg's a crazy man.
He's an OD picker.
That's
I know
true.
that, but not a whole lot of fun versus TA.
He likes his Shadow Fiend. I don't think that's a hero anymore. Particularly not against an Earth Spirit. Oh, God. Just roll in there, find a couple kills. Well, down to the wire now for Winstrike. They need a pick now, and they need a win now really badly so they don't get knocked out in the group stage. And it's going to be the Storm Spirit.
Choose your
All in the back
hero.
of Iceberg.
Control isn't incredibly quick or anything for Fnatic in this game. Be interesting to watch this mid lane, though. Storm in his armor, see if that'll be enough to withstand Abed's Templar Assassin. Very practiced. I mean, the guy is on it almost every single game. At least that's what it feels like whenever we're casting them.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, too, here is that you got DJ that's going to be most likely rolling in onto Iceberg before he gets that level 6. Once he's able to secure the off lane, things could get a
Yeah.
little bit dicey. I feel like Iceberg is going to need to make sure he gets some good wards from his supports and then have quick rotations.
Yeah, but the rotations are real bad.
Yeah.
Like a Dark Willow and a Silencer just does nothing. Like maybe he'll get a return kill, possibly, but there's no way he saves your life. Everything is so delayed. And then the Dark Willow, she'd have to get there very quickly, get down the Bramble Maze. It has to appear out of the ground and hope that your Storm Spirit can try and like run through it to save himself.
And, like, Curse Crown is just going to do nothing. It's sort of like the countdown so you can walk away and then just look at him. Yeah, tough time. Well, we're going to see if Winstrike are going to be able to do it. Game number 1 versus Fnatic for them. And I think that they have a pretty decent hill to climb. But again, you know, who knows? Maybe in the laning stage, they're going to get themselves into a situation where you can suddenly start snowballing the lanes. There was a game earlier where it felt like, you know, Optic was going to be able to completely destroy Serenity, and Serenity came back and just dominated them. And that was off the back of a Storm Spirit. Anything is possible.
He's a hero that can do that. He's definitely one who can take over the game. But I don't like the supports for like super fast game takeover for Winstrike.
Yeah.
So much more of a burden on the Ursa and the Mirana in this one. But those are two cores that can certainly get the ball rolling. And key things to look for in this game, we're going to be looking at a battle for the Roche Pit. Ursa versus Templar Assassin. That's probably where we're going to have quite a bit of action happening.
Yeah, and of course, where you get those visions down, tips are going to fly out for Silent right at the beginning. Apparently, they really like their carry. That's what you got to do, right? Silent's a legend in the CIS region. It's got to be said.
That's true.
Yes, I just did that.
So DJ going to roll out. He does not have a ward on him. They instead have it on nobody. Okay, maybe trying to feint that they're going to place a ward here. We'll see if DJ runs away.
Middle.
Well, they ping it out. Spot him, and now the walk away. It's classic, really. Also, the mids tipping each other in anticipation of a friendly rivalry. There have been more Battle Pass points handed out here. My goodness.
I tell you.
30 seconds.
All right, so no shenanigans. We're just getting right into it. It should be... Oh, there's absolutely 0 people top. The bear is just like, hello? Is there anyone? So Envy is just telling them to watch out bottom, I'm sure.
Yeah. A lot of pings up on that high ground. No fear. Maybe anticipating
Silent
a
gonna
ward.
slap that bear so hard. Get it. Get that bear.
He's got the movement speed advantage. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't.
Now the question is Envy trying to toy with him?
The battle
He just lets it go.
Yeah. No such luck. Bottom lane, though, is where No Fear is taking a beating already at the get-go. The slowdown, first blood. DJ in trouble. Is going to Fairy Fire. Has a salve to leap forward, and he's going to die.
Yeah, and then always want to fly, though, on the run. Will get stunned up. And Arctic Bird, unfortunately, a very long cooldown. So Universe is all alone in this effort, and he's going to salve. Ouch.
Getting out of there. The roll forward, Non-Grata just TP's back to lane, and he's fine and dandy as well.
Okay.
Another salve used.
2 salves burned then, but... So that means mid lane Storm will get his courier. No sneaky plays here.
Trading hits with Abed as well. Go for just some of those CS as well. And there are some early fortifications for the CS out of the mid lane.
So we've seen this quite a bit from Fnatic. They're going for the kill bottom on always want to fly. So this whole plan is that DJ just plays with the Wraith King for a couple kills early on, and Envy is just by himself with the bear. Trying to get as many lasts as he can. And he's pretty successful. He's against 2 heroes here, and he's getting lasted somehow.
Yeah,
Very impressive.
The strength of this lone druid just as a hero, and you run on in there. It is going to run into some issues, though. Obviously, Silent is a monster, stacking up those Fury swipes, and eventually it's going to end up killing off the bear if they're not careful. But Envy should be able to do a good job of messing around with them. DJ going to interrupt that pull as well, so there won't be a pull in the bottom lane.
Yeah, the reset time is actually insanely long on Fury Swipes now. So it makes it very hard to manage it with the lone druid, but pulling under the tower is only so much they can do. They start to dive, but Pilot Eye in behind. We'll put the hurt on the Arctic Burn.
Just be careful, he's wearing down pretty soon, and he's
Look at
going
him
to dodge
juking.
through
Uh-oh.
the brambles, but that tree is in his way. Pilot Eye in some trouble. Silence there as well. He's going to be able to get that extra damage in. But
Wow. When's the last time you
Cold
saw Cold
Embrace.
Embrace level 2? But this is a good lane for it.
mid lane.
Oh, they can use it to heal the bear. It's percent base too. This is genius.
Oh, it's pretty smart. God, Iceberg got very low.
This is actually going to work out totally fine this lane because of that.
That's really cool. And the fear just to secure last hits. That's the most Envy thing, I gotta say. It's
Yeah.
like your mechanism for saving your life, and he's using it to secure one last hit.
Oh, didn't secure that one.
A little bit off. It happens. Regen bottom. Scouted by DJ. And it looks like he might just pick it up himself.
Radiant are scanning.
Or save it for his TA. That's the friendly thing to do.
We'll say Iceberg's looking great. I mean, this guy, exceptional mid player, of course. 17-4 versus the 8-3. No real experience issues so far. Just a couple for the TA, but Abed's about to get level 4 as well.
Oh, and taking a lot of damage. The fear comes out. And that's going to keep Envy alive for the moment. Yet again, Highlight Eye keeping his core
Abed
there.
mid lane, 10 HP on Iceberg.
He's been playing this very close there.
Is it better to die or to TP and run back?
It's a good question. We'll find out the answer, though. The universe picks up a kill on Always Want to Fly.
So now what does Abed do? Does he suicide? Because he's not. He's sticking around. He's flying out regen. Okay, he'll have enough time, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone for a little while now. And as he's coming back in, the courier's going to get there before him, actually.
I guess he's no choice. The Storm Spirit didn't die, so.
Yeah. Well, kind of an odd start there for the mid lane. But it is going to help Abed out a little bit more into this lane here. Iceberg has had a good time so far, trading off those refraction instances. Haven't seen any rotations mid yet. DJ just trying to ensure the experience for this Wraith King, and dodges away from the arrow. That is going to put him in a little bit of a sticky situation. Has the roll away, but not enough. They take him down.
And meanwhile, the mid lane, the top rune was just an invis, so Abed, unfortunately, not going to be able to make any use of it because he's continued CSing. Didn't get that last hit, though.
Did he deny it from the Storm Spirit, at least?
The rune? Yeah, he took the
Okay.
rune.
So level 5 now. DJ coming mid for the moment.
He spots the Observer Ward. They got to kill that before it expires, so Abed will run up on the high ground.
Yeah. Now, Storm Spirit, obviously realizing that Earth Spirit could have been sticking around that area, is just going to head off to the jungle for a little while while Envy runs through a bramble. A bit of damage coming out, but not enough to secure the kill, and he just solves up immediately afterwards. So they're going to stay here just for the moment until Iceberg gets 6, or he's going to come back to lane and play it safe.
Meanwhile, Universe and DJ try and make it go here. Not Always Want to Fly.
Oh,
Nice kick down from DJ.
well played indeed, and getting a couple crits. No, the stomp coming from the Centaur.
think
They're
that
going to
helped them.
secure the runes. And Always Want to Fly. In trouble, gonna die.
DJ, though, has to try and survive here. There's one more leap and a stick.
Give him that skeleton.
There you go.
Look at
That'll
that guy.
send him back. Ha!
Bounty runes, at least for now, looks like
All
it was.
4.
Nicely played there. Pick him up for Fnatic. A little visit to the Shadow Realm for No Fear. Continuing to trade hits. If you look at the CS here, it's into the favor of Ursa, but not by a significant margin. So across the board, looking fairly even.
Yeah, and a lot of these Storm Spirit last hits especially are neutrals, so when you actually switch over to the net worth, the TA is ahead.
Yeah. Feel a little bit more regen being flown out there as well. It's a possibility. And DJ going to rotate in again. Look at the levels right now. He's about on par with the rest of the support, so not really having a problem so far on this Earth Spirit.
And that's the most important thing about this hero. It's just quick earlier levels. And then he's a little bit odd because he doesn't really need that many items despite him. Like you really want Blink Dagger, but other than Blink, the items are pretty minuscule for an Earth Spirit. You just really want that urn.
Level 6, Iceberg making the rotation as a Storm Spirit. Looking to see if he can find somebody possibly, and it's going to go right onto Envy now. The Cold Embrace is going to walk forward, drop down a Remnant, deal out the damage, but the Fear comes out. It manages to connect. Envy still living in this one. The jump forward, are they going too deep? They will be able to find this kill onto Envy, but Universe, he's shown up and Iceberg's out of mana. But the Invis and the walk away.
Moonlight Shadow has just been so much value with all these Mirana picks. Everyone's in these brawling lanes, right?
Yeah.
And so you just have this Mirana on your team to be able to pop it right at level 6 and give you this advantage in a lane that maybe was going a little bit worse for you. Suddenly an Invis hero, very hard to deal with.
And who the hell is going to buy Dust at 7 minutes into the game,
middle
right?
tower
Like,
is
unless you're
under
playing
attack.
against a Ricky or something. I think that, like, against the Mirana, obviously, it's more likely that you're going to be buying that Dust, but that tends to come later when it's, like, big team fight things going on.
Yeah, you can't really afford that stuff right now, especially as a support. You want those most basic items.
27 seconds until Envy has his bear friend back again.
Is under attack.
And Non-Grata, in the meantime, she's going to feel comfortable pushing in this tower with the catapult.
DJ's getting a lot of experience here, though.
This has tended to be the way that team's playing now, leaving the lane for the support. And Universe going to come back again after making a long walk over. Winstrike bringing their supports around.
We'll be spotted here. At least the Dark Willow's rotation.
Envy just resummoned this bear. If he manages to go down here again, this would be real bad for Fnatic. And Highlight Eye moving over. He does still have that Cold Embrace. Good bit of damage out. Obviously no 6 as of yet. they're just trying to even kill off the bear at this point. That would be pretty solid for them. And the right click's coming through. It's dropping down lower, and that is a long time without a bear.
It's almost enough damage to take down Envy.
Yeah. Iceberg? Got a little bit of a trap there. But he's fine. Pretty aggressive first 8 minutes.
That's a little disappointing just because they had so much vision on the Dark Willow rotation as well, and they still lost the bear to it.
Yeah. Not what she would have fully expected. Grada's just eaten Wraithfire Blasts down here, but he's already level 8. Right now having a hell of a game for himself on that Mirana. Universe, level 6. DJ's down here as well. Has 2 points in the kick and 1 in each of the other abilities.
Hoping somebody will show up, try and get a kill. They have a lot of damage right now. 2 points in the stun, the extra skeletons. Universe already just not messing around at all, skilling into that ultimate too, not holding the point whatsoever. Yeah. Top lane, Pilot Eye being targeted here. No Fear just playing so well in this Dark Willow. There's a lot of damage, but can't get it off because of the Cold Embrace, and now stunned up. Uh-oh.
That's the reason that you picked this hero against Dark Willow. Nice rotation from DJ. They didn't come bottom, but he finds a kill top.
Okay. And they got a lot of pressure on that tower as well. Looks like the skeletons were popped out there and half damage on the tower.
Yeah. So about 1,000 gold lead so far for Winstrike. Still feels fairly even. There is a ward blocking out the TA Ancients though. Meanwhile, bottom lane, no stacks on that camp either. So gonna be putting a little bit of a damper on Abed's game, at least for now.
Oh, Abed gets the sentry down in time though.
Oh,
and
nice
the
play.
Camp's now gonna be open.
Meanwhile, bounty runes traded off. 2 apiece for each team, it looks like. And still everybody just kind of sitting even.
Dark Willow gonna have Tome now for massive amounts of damage. And DJ does have enough experience that he will also have level 6 after his too. So he'll just start rotating around soon with the urn. And the target has got to be the Storm Spirit.
That would be a very big pickup for him. I mean, it's not the easiest kill in the world at this point, though. You look at the control, and this is something we identified in the draft. You basically have the Earth Spirit kit and then maybe a Wraithfire Blast if you can get there in time. This is going to be a tough one. Unless Iceberg's hanging around at this low HP. Then it's a lot easier.
Pleasant. Always want to flies in there real deep for the wards.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
Everyone's very far separated here. Envy's just running the bear around in circles.
Yeah, this is a nice play. With the Helm of the Dominator creep, he's just sort of tanking the tower and forcing Silent to take down these catapults himself.
Structures are fortified.
We'll get the glyph out, but he's down the bottom lane. And there's a Moonlight Shadow ready, and they have no detection, so this probably is not going to work out too well for them.
Dire are scanning.
They're thinking about it, though.
They scanned top thinking they were smoking at them.
Oh, this could be really bad, actually. They're all showing up for this one. Universe, they have no idea what's going on right now. And as they open up onto Universe, looking for the kill, Nangrada is seeing if he can find one on the backside of it as well.
They're just bailing.
Yeah, this is the good decision. Nangrada can go for the leap arrow if he wants to, or just hit him right from the get-go. But moving down there, not anticipating the rotations from Winstrike. Winstrike are looking great.
Yeah. Looks like they just spotted exactly what Fnatic wanted to do there. Their own vision game isn't too stellar. I guess they had some in behind the tower up top, and just that deep ward that always want to fly place before was enough vision for them to just say, yeah, okay. Felt like the vision from the Dyers is amazing, and still to get caught out like that, you know? Very deep observer wards that are just starting to fade here in that Radiant jungle. They had the one up top too, but they scanned on top of that, thinking that it was actually a smoke play top that was happening, when really it was so much focus on the bottom lane.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. One time on the next level play is not the play that's being made.
Blink Dagger are going to be very important so the Universe can just force himself into these engagements and create a focal point for Winstrike to target, and then that'll hopefully buy some space for Abed. If you were an ally of Fnatic, right. That is.
This is a big kill if they can find this. It's not quite going to happen, though.
It's so difficult.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, all of these heroes for Winstrike, not the easiest ones to go on. Like, probably Ursa is the one that's the easiest, and he's still got Enrage to mess with. It's a tough time. All right. Winstrike looking pretty okay to start this one out. The downside is that you do have the silencer that doesn't really have much in the way of farm, but I feel like that's kind of okay with them.
Yeah, he's just going to press R. Try and help out during the big team fights.
Tower is under attack.
Very irritating here to play against, and with them all focusing bottom silent, thinking about heading to the pit, he will.
Radiant's bottom
Oh, wow.
tower has fallen.
But they're smoked up and moving this way.
Dire's
They have the
top
winner's
tower is
curse,
under attack.
and Nongrata will break it.
There we go. A silence immediately onto him. The Magnetize also on top of it, and Iceberg just going to give that one up for broken. They back out. Now the 3-person reapplication of Magnetize. The damage coming out as well. He can hit a second one here. There's a ton of damage coming in with the Magnetize from DJ, and he might be able to find himself another one.
Always
Oh,
crazy.
a little bit too late. That was pretty deep.
Came too close to what is mine.
The good
Dark
old
Willow, she survived below 100 HP, very low in fact.
I mean, it looked good. Look at the damage. Almost 2,000 damage done by that Earth Spirit in the fight, but
Yep. Well, they're able to secure a trap inside the Roche Pit, which very important, so you can keep an eye on that. And then they also have a sentry down too, because there's going to be plenty of sentries in the Radiant to try and deward these sentries, or deward these traps.
yeah.
And here it comes. The boys want to fly. Down goes the sentry. Oh, hello, sentry.
Uh-oh.
And goodbye, trap.
I mean,
All
they
right,
know
they're
that this is
forcing
happening.
this.
And Iceberg does not have much HP. He just took a ton of nukes on the mid lane.
And they still have curse.
Yeah, this is really scary.
And
Moonlight
Blink,
Shadow. They drop down another ward. Thinking about going into this one. The trap is down. They roll in with DJ as well. They're able to get the stun silence. Ursa's in some trouble. They managed to find that dust out there as well. And the bear just walking into them. The global follow-up, but are they really doing anything at the same time? Meanwhile, the silencer just ends up going down. Storm Spirit trying to escape as well. And with the Terrorize being pump fake, they're not going to fully commit here. Now Grotto leaps up to the high ground, still alive, and they're walking in towards Roche on the other side of it. He managed to find another stun here. Combo onto Storm Spirit. He's silenced. He's going down. He is going to fall.
They have-
3 dead.
Is under attack.
They just crumbled in that team, but I don't know why they were forcing it. Like, I guess they think we have an Ursa, we need Roche, but that was just a terrible place for them to be fighting. The only way they win that fight is if they're completely, like, 100% confident in the play from No Fear, and he didn't cast either of his ultimate. Like, Dark Willow is the only hero that wins that fight, and that relies on you letting Fnatic get nearby enough that you can play down the Bramble and terrorize them all into it. No such situation. Abed with the Blink Dagger targets down the silencer, forces a bad global, and there's no jump. There's no initiation. No one else does anything from Winstrike.
It's a really tough situation, too, because you look at this area and you think, oh, Dark Willow around the Roche Pit, it's amazing. You can terrorize them and stuff. But, you know, Fnatic were really careful about their positioning in that fight and making sure that they weren't all clumped together and getting caught by it. So good decision-making there by Fnatic to come in and contest. And, yeah, like you said, Winstrike maybe a little bit too exuberant
Double damage.
in the Roche taking potential.
Yeah, I don't know how you fight that with these heroes right now. That's a massive burden for No Fear.
Dire's bottom tower has
Take
been
down
denied.
the tier 1 tower, the deny. DJ making it happen. 16 minutes in, and what was looking good for Winstrike just a little while ago is now 2,000 gold lead for Fnatic and 3,000 experience into their favor as well.
Oh, and Envy is now going in towards a Solar Crest here. It looks like. In
Dire's
fact, he
top
just
tower
buys the
is under
evasion
attack.
first. First he buys him down, and he's like, no, the value play, top.
They find the Storm Spirit yet again, and Iceberg is just going down. While this is happening, you have Abed that's just like farming with the DD in front of their entire team saying, what are you going to do to me? I got an Aegis. Like, you never expect that when the TA is down here in your jungle, that they're simultaneously snapping on Storm Spirit.
It's, the power of Earth Spirit, though, just so much damage, the ridiculous amount of reach that he has, and this Storm Spirit has committed in. He's gone for the Kaya. He's pretty well farmed, right? Kaya into one of the Oblivion staffs. He wants some way to play aggressive and target some of these heroes, but that means he has no defensive option up against a quick silence out of the fog from DJ.
The lead grows a little bit more, 3,000 into the favor of Fnatic.
Radiant's
Now
middle
they're gonna
tower
start their
is under
push.
attack.
I love this style of launcher that Envy plays for this team. I think it's so perfect as a way to allow Abed to flourish. Yeah, you just shove this bear in front, he has a helm, he gets another creep, get a couple auras going. In this case, the Solar Crest, like that evasion or just putting some blind, so good.
Yeah. So much value against this type of a team, which is dependent upon right clicks. Like, Mirana sure does magical damage, but a lot of it also, as we do see Mirana caught here, Nongrata trying to leap away. And actually might just die to the skeletons. Do they have any duster detection? They dropped down a sentry ward. It hits him again. Very low with the dust out there. Now Grata trying to hide. He's going to TP away. Do they spot him on time? Oh, the Wraith King TP blinked.
Yeah, didn't quite get it right there. And now there's a Rigus here from Silent.
Nice play as they jump in with Iceberg as well. On the other side of the fight, they're able to take down Always Want to Fly, though.
Okay.
And Universe just
One for one then.
hold his breath. Hope that Winstrike doesn't chase him out. And he's out of there. Oh, what? Excuse me? Did he cancel that? No, okay. Now he TPs.
Well, Envy at least will have a little bit of survivability for his bear with that Solar Crest. No good use for the offensive shine in this one, is there? Yeah. No one any evasion on that Radiant side.
Not really.
That's a bit of a classic. But Silent pushing up top here once again. It's like he's always with one of his other cores. I like this. I think one thing that happened to Eternal Envy earlier on when they had the Ursa pick was that before he had the Blink Dagger, just felt like he couldn't do anything. But Silent's been constantly playing with one of his cores. Now that he has the Blink too, they're just kind of moving together, trying to get a bunch of kills going, make some space for the Storm Spirit. And this bear, 300 gold to non-Grata.
The resummon happens immediately. Envy did not have the Solar Crest on his bear at that point. And they weren't able to keep him alive. Arrow coming through. And they decide to evacuate the situation. Lone Druid gets the deny on the tower. And Universe, blink off cooldown in 10 seconds. Still sort of chasing here.
Yeah, come at me.
All right, Silent is going to do just that. They roll in now with DJ, and can they actually find him? That was so well played by DJ. The stun silence comes out, but they do drop the global as well, and now just trying to run away, see if they can escape from it. They manage to find the stun, and there's going to be the fear laid out on top of it. Great play to save their Storm Spirit. He is going to be kept alone for just a moment there. Can they kill him off in time? They actually do. He walked into it.
No fear.
No fear killed him. Oh no, and now he's gonna pay the price. I have never seen that before.
Well, Dark Willow was supposed to win them the Roche fight.
Oh.
And then she stabbed him in the back then, and she stabbed him in the back again right there.
Did you see what DJ did with his initiation too? He sort of like
it was like a
slowed it
slow
down.
roll.
Yeah, and then he went in fast at the very end of it. That was sick.
He shortened the side B, I believe, for all you Falco players out there. I got you.
I appreciate that. Well, Fnatic, 6-13, 5,000 gold lead in the first tier 3 tower down. And
DJ chasing, bottom.
oh, now Grata does have another leap. Should be okay here, although he gets stunned. They drop down the Magnetize. The silence is there as well, and now with Winter Wyvern in the area, that is Winstrike going to lose him, and the Cold Embrace.
Oh, no fear. Coming for redemption.
Quick, get the Winter's Curse off. All right, no. No fear is going to get the kill there. Yeah, that's such a backbreaker. The accidental kill down there with the Winter's Curse on the Storm Spirit.
It was pretty cool looking. Man, he got nuked so hard. Oh, that's nice. DJ still gave the tip over. You know, DJ is a very positive tipper.
Yeah.
He tips Envy all the time. He's tipping Pilot Eye like, you know what, man? I know you tried to save me. You got me once, but couldn't save me for the second hero, and that's okay. Or maybe he just tips him because he buys all the wards. It could be that.
I mean, yeah, Pilot Eye is making DJ look like a star. Let's be real. Going for the Lotus Orb. All right, can dig it. I like that item choice out of Pilot Eye. Winstrike, you know, it's hurting right now, but the Storm Spirit, as you mentioned earlier, he's still having a pretty decent game. Has died a couple of times since then. How bad is it right now for Winstrike?
He really needs this Orchid. But once he has it, it's just like, it commits so much gold, and obviously he can't play quite the same when he didn't just go for Yules or something because he's worried about DJ so much, constantly silencing him and then the chain stuns. But who does he target when he has it? Basically just the PA, and hope that's enough. Abed is not going BKB next, so that might be enough for them.
Ooh.
It's been interesting.
I mean, I guess, do you need to... well, I would automatically think of the Wyvern taking him down, but you don't think that that's as much of a priority if they can catch Abed out?
I mean, taking down the Wyvern would be great. I guess I'm just trying to think of, like, what heroes he can get. If he can get in the backline and get DJ or the Wyvern, that would be
I guess Abed might just
excellent,
turn and kill him if that happens, too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Well, the other thing is if he builds a Scythe, even if he Orchids the Abed, he's just going to Scythe them.
That's a good point also.
So we'll see how far Abed can get with this. But
Oh, no.
no fear.
They found him.
Should have had some fear.
He is going to die.
Jax,
That guy cannot be saved by the Shadow Realm. Yeah, that's the problem that I feel like with Fnatic's draft is there's so many different targets. And at the end of the day, you still have to deal with this Lone Druid who's starting to get more and more of these items. If you get into an AC, things start to look really scary. And they have found one, but as we said, might not be good enough as they chase down Iceberg. Abed, no more way to room and chase to follow.
That was a really nice grab, though, because that's why they were able to pick the Storm at the end of the draft, is that there's not a lot of great instant stuns. Like, even DJ, it's hard for him to grab him. I mean, if he gets the silence, which is a sick range, then he could be dead sure, but he wasn't in the area there. Storm's taking some risks. Always want to fly. Goes for a sentry out there. They're probably going to know that's there. They might think it was a ward over here, too. No fear. He needs some fear in his life.
And this guy keeps on getting ran at, and the global comes out afterwards as they want to initiate. They do blow up DJ. That's a huge kill for them to start this one out, and now the Wraith King also going to go down. Do they want to commit for
Abed
more?
There's no blink, though.
A little bit of trouble, and now they've come back into a little bit of an odd situation. Chasing down this bear, Silent, beating his claws at it, and they take down the kill.
I think No Fear can stick with the No Fear. That seems okay.
Yeah.
Gets initiated on, managed to survive. The kick was not there in time because it was a little bit too far away. And then the counterplay there. So now only a 3K lead for the side of the Dire. This is after Roche's with a very firm TA. And this is all just space for Iceberg to try and get towards that defensive item and try and take DJ out of his game. And if he gets on that BKB, then they're in some serious trouble. That's going to force the Winner's Curse on top of the Storm Spirit.
Right.
Dire's top
Always on a fly. Dangerous
no.
warding, but he just stops.
It's like, I know what's happening here.
Oh, maybe. Nope.
He's going to get a little hit there onto the Satyr Banisher. He's going to silence that guy up. Hit him up for a little bit. Oh, bottom lane, though. They find Silent. Bearman in a little bit of trouble here, Enrage wearing off, and that will be a kill. This is close to TA's Sheepstick now.
Good old bounty runes. They did get 3 of them. And Abed got the 4th. Straight Sheepstick. It's very strong against Ursa and Storm Spirit, especially with the BKB coming out.
Yeah, kind of mitigates that problem and sort of makes it into a war of who has better vision. Storm Spirit, long jump in onto Envy. He's going to be feared, going to be rooted, but he might still be killed off as this thing wears off and chasing down Eternal Envy. The Sheepstick reveal, though, they turn it back around. They kill off Iceberg.
All right, where's the tip, Envy?
Oh,
come on.
man.
Tip your buddy there, because that's the big save from Abed. Well, that's quite the reveal.
Jeez.
That's a lot. Look at those purple lines from Iceberg. Scribbles all over the minimap.
Always want to fly. Going to be found as well now, and things are starting to fall off the rails a little bit.
And Roche appears. Whoops.
God.
That was the worst possible timing for the side of Winstrike.
And again, you can understand the idea, right? This is a Storm Spirit. He wants to go for this big play, see if he can take down the Lone Druid. Maybe that snowballs into something else for him, but the Sheepstick reveal on the initiation. Rough stuff for Iceberg.
Yeah, and Universe even blinking to the high ground there, trying to find the Dark Willow, assuming that they were in the area, but they're actually down bot, pushing with the Mirana. And Abed's going to find a Arcane Rune, which would be great if he wants to go on a hunt with the Scythe.
Tylai Dai has quietly had himself a hell of a farmed game. He is sitting here now with the full Lotus Orb done. He's above DJ in net worth.
That's what we talked about with the Earth Spirit, though, being a hero that's not greedy at all, but can still have such an impact. And the fact that Wyvern being able to farm waves with such ease, especially at position 5, is really helpful when you're up against this thing with the global silence, right? Like, they picked this after silencer because they knew that even if he tries to counter you in the team fight, even 20 minutes after the game, you can afford either a Eul Scepter or a Lotus Orb. Lotus Orb is clearly much better because it's instantaneous. Dispels you and lets you get off that counter Winner's Curse. So, perfect itemization here from Tylai Dai.
Arrow goes through but does not connect onto anybody. And Winstrike gonna need to dig deep. As always want to fly, drops down a ward, will be scouted. The stun a little bit off the mark. It's going to be counting his lucky stars after that one. It didn't hit.
Now, in his defense, the Remnants do look a little skinnier than the actual hero. You know, I feel like there's a little bit of an image problem going on there for old DJ Earth Spirit.
That's fair.
I feel like that thing was a little bigger. Certainly would have clipped him.
He's been going to the gym, working out a little
let's
bit.
see what it is. Iceberg lurking here.
Invisibility.
Yeah, and this is, it never feels good when you have to play this far off the map constantly as a Storm Spirit. Like, it's what you want to do, but you'd love to be able to, you know, convert that into kills. But now he's going to be relegated to cutting waves.
And Envy is in the vicinity. If Abed were to TP, maybe they could just run it, but he'll just go scare him back.
Yeah, and a quick little zip away into TP. While Silent will get the split push going on the other side of the map. They understand the situation that the game's in. The unfortunate part for them is that Fnatic can keep the pressure going, and you can see right there, Storm Spirit good at cutting through these waves.
Yeah, but look what Abed did. He ran down bottom to here, placed the trap, and just killed this whole wave. So, sick push bottom. Wave's practically dead. 3 creeps. Oh, wow. Single-digit HP. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they don't need to bring anybody back for this. Yeah, the strength of TA, even now, after the traps have been nerfed over and over again, they should be able to come close to finishing off this Tier 2 tower. Does he have any more traps out there? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, they're all back.
Envy works on the shrine.
It does sort of feel like it has this like inevitability to it, that this is going to turn into a team fight. And when that fight does eventually happen, like, what are Winstrike's options here?
They
do not have the best high ground defense. I guess Willow does in some ways. Like, she can perform solo kills on heroes without BKBs. So there is a chance for sure. Like, Abed's still pretty squishy, right? He doesn't have any strength, really. 10 strength from the scythe, and he puts on his treads. Maybe that'll be enough.
Right.
But Dark Willow can have an absurd output.
I guess the other one is Mirana. We've seen time and again the arrow, if it's able to hit somewhere, and he did get into the 100 leap attack speed talent.
Always want to fly. He's being hunted down here. Gonna have to force out.
Yeah, that will be a quick kill. Silencer goes down. They'll be able to keep this lane pressured out now. And it looks like while that's happening, Winstrike seeing if they can secure themselves a kill onto the Spirit Bear. And drop the Bedlam, absolutely everything on it. 300 gold going into the coffers.
Looks like Silent will get that heading towards his Basher. Desperately needed, but Envy also getting some stuff for himself. It will be the Radiance finished up on this Bear.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, right? Like, this split pushing stuff is not going to happen as often now.
TA traps, Radiance Bear.
Yeah, this is tough.
Winter Wyvern. All of that is just trying to split up these Radiant heroes and give opportunities for pickoffs via the Blinking Scythe and the Earth Spirit. And just see right there again, just another trap placed down by Abed in that bottom lane.
And you don't, like, at this point, if you're Winstrike, you just need to invest into fighting items. You can't try and get a gem to try and deal with these traps either. It is going to be a quick jump out there from Storm Spirit. You can only do that so many times, though, since his TP is now on cooldown. And the TP backed by the Earth Spirit. Let's see if you can find anybody. Nobody's home.
That's going to be a bit unfortunate for him. He really wants to be at that bottom fight. That forces the back of Fnatic. So obviously they didn't even want to go if he TP'd out, but... Aegis is about to expire too, so this wasn't worth it, and DJ takes the deny up top.
To me, this feels like it's a point where you might want to smoke as Winstrike. Aegis just expiring, you know, you're going to get your lanes pressured out one time.
They have so much rat potential here on the side of Fnatic, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit has the talent now so he can double roll waves, so it just takes him 8 seconds to kill an entire creep wave.
Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Already has his Blink Dagger and the Urn.
Not a ton of value in Spirit Vessel this game. I could see him just going for like a Yule. Oh, he already has Yules. Okay. Yeah, Yule's definitely the item.
He's so farmed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They've almost got as much as the Wraith King does. You know, you were talking about it in the talent lounge stuff about, like, you know, what's the answer to 4 cores? How do you abuse the fact that everybody's just trying to play really greedy on this position, like 3.5 stuff? The answer is 5 cores. That's the answer.
Ah, that
just
makes
have
sense.
everybody farmed.
Yeah. Yeah, this game looks great for Fnatic. And we have the 10-second BKB, so I mean, that was the comeback mechanic for Winstrike, was that Abed somehow died because he didn't buy BKB early enough, but he's able to go back, get it without being punished for it. And they're gonna try to smoke up here with BKB on the Mirana, and we'll see if No Fear can finally make the giant play that his team needs.
BKB also on silent there, walking straight forward. Always want to fly global ready. They break it though. Universe is there, and now Silent getting his Blink Dagger broken. He is able to get it off though before the damage is applied. And Now the runaway, another trap onto 3, and this is just stopped in its tracks.
Not the best smoke gank I've seen.
That one hurts.
Yeah, and they buy a gem right away on DJ.
Well, 33 minutes in, 10K net worth lead, and this is normally the type of, you know, lead where you'd say, all right, it's possible to get back into it, but you look at this Fnatic team, and as you said, it's so easy to push out waves. It's so easy to play safe. Like, they're not needing to take that many chances. They can just sort of do this methodically, wait for this next Roche.
Yeah, at the same time, if it's ever a fight outside of the base, there is a lot of pick-off potential for the Radiant side. Like, they have extremely high damage heroes in like the Ursa and the Mirana and the Dark Willow, and then you have someone like Storm Spirit who doesn't have to conform himself to, you know, roads and trails across the Dota map. He just suddenly zips over a cliff and grabs somebody when you think you're in a safe spot as a support. But they are starting to tank up pretty hard, right? That Lotus Orb Pilot Eye puts him at about 1,220 HP, 15 armor. DJ is up to 2K HP.
That hero.
Yeah, they are not simple targets for him to just zip on and kill.
It always shocks me when I look at the 3.5 per level strength gain on Earth Spirit. Like, that hero is pretty tanky when he gets levels. So
Almost able to catch Ursa on the sidelines there. But Pilot Eye will be a little bit late.
34 minutes. Bounty rune's going to spawn.
Yeah, we're just waiting on Roche.
Take their time with this one. Like the Heaven's Halberd pickup as well for Universe. It's going to force out that BKB pretty early from Storm Spirit if he wants to do any damage in these fights.
Yeah, Ursa too. Can't dispel that.
Oh God, Storm. I mean, there's no way he gets him here, right? They're moving down this direction, but he's too quick. I would think he's sticking around in the creep wave, and with the sheep stick, if he shows himself on this wave,
I don't think he'll show on this wave.
he's backing up.
Yeah, I think you just saw that trap get planted.
Radiant's top barracks.
So no bounty runes for Winstrike, and that is a nice bit of gold into their coffers. Tough stuff indeed for Team Winstrike. So now, you know, you look at the sort of Roche fight that we're expecting to happen. You can't even really get outside your base right now for Winstrike. Look at him go.
If only they had like one of these cheeky heroes that allowed that to be useful, you know what I mean?
The Chen? Or
Something like that, yeah.
The Chen send back with the Storm Spirit Ball Lightning. It's pretty nuts. All right, but Roche going to respawn. Relatively quick one here. Winstrike are already in the area. I don't believe that they see it. There is a TA trap in the Roche pit. Universe being that meat shield up front and center, has a blade mail ready. He's just going to blink up into all of them. Finds always want to fly the stun silence on it too.
Lord.
And they just can't do anything. They can do literally nothing.
They can run.
They throw out the arrow. There's the stun, no fear. Trying to get out of there. They blink over the top of it, and as he comes out of that Shadow Realm, meanwhile the jump back onto the back line's not finding anybody though, and no fear is out.
Yeah, that should just be enough. He's trying to grab the wave. They're gonna glyph it.
Oh God. Yes, it hurts. It hurts really bad.
Abed just gonna force him to zip as far as he can. Get away from that pesky Templar assassin. So now the question becomes, do we go Roche or do we just try and go high ground? I think knowing that they probably have buyback on Dark Willow, they could just go high ground because they have already killed the shrine. Or sorry, they can just go Roche, I mean, because they've already killed the shrines. There's no TPs there.
Yeah. Seems pretty solid. They've still got the vessel, or rather the Solar Crest as well.
They thought the same thing though.
They are going to be able to take down this bear, it looks like, most likely. And he's hexed. He's ran it. He's going to be killed. They jump in with Iceberg, wanting to find a kill, but there's going to be the BKB out from Abed. They cannot focus this guy down. They do kill off that Winter Wyvern, and now looking towards Envy as well. Winstrike, in a flurry, are going to fight back and try and take down these heroes, but Abed is still alive. Now with this BKB wearing off, he still has his butterfly. Can they kill him off in time? TJ trying to save the die. He silenced everybody. Abed not able to live through it, though, and 4 people dead with a long-range shot from downtown. They bring DJ pretty low as well.
That Arcane Rune just did a lot of work for Storm Spirit. Oh, DJ, whoopsie.
That's not a magnetize you want to do. Non-grata. Chasing him down as well.
I believe he was trying to use that Observer Ward for the Blink magnetized going on 3.
Oh, man.
They feel like they need to Roche here. And they're definitely correct. Well, well, well. Winstrike Oh, DJ. I left the gem behind, guys. I'm going in.
Here we go, looking for their opening. He is a little bit too early, though. That's a little more than he wanted. Stormstreet's going to buy back. They have the Winter's Curse down on the Silencer as well, and with the Yule Scepter lift up, the walk away, they get Roche. And now Storm Spirit,
Refresher Shard.
also looking for more. He's got him caught here. DJ is still living, though. He's too much HP. Chase forward. Silence says, I want some more, but will not be able to find that kill. A little bit of Fnatic, a little bit of Winstrike. Not sure who this fits better for their team.
Is under attack.
That all started with an Ursa pickoff when he was trying to split push, when he thought they were doing Roche, and then this Arcane Rune Storm Spirit comes in, absolutely slays everyone.
And suddenly, look at the net worths. Look at what they're sitting on now. Like, Mirana is almost on the same level as the TA. Storm Spirit's above Envy, and you've got this Ursa that's just a monster. And sure, you've got like the cores that are really, or the supports that are super farmed, but
yeah,
I don't know, it's getting testy.
Yeah, you definitely don't need the same amount of farm on Dark Will and Silencer. Have an impact there, so uh-oh. And I love the itemization from the Winstrike heroes. I think getting that really BKB on Mirana, even though they're behind, like sometimes you go risk your items, it feels like, but was not the case here for Mirana. So now that they're ahead, she's really feeling good. Well, I shouldn't say ahead, but, you know, much better than they were before.
Caught up a little bit. Yeah.
So the downsides, though, is that Highlight Eye is still pretty scary for that Radiant team if they can catch him. However, he has not progressed in itemization at all, really. He's gone for like smaller stuff, like he finished out some Tranquil Boots and he got an 8th Villains, but he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so he has no ridiculous initiation options that he can hang back or anything like that. Wouldn't mind seeing that from him if possible.
Well, he's going to pick up a couple of runes here. So too will Winstrike, it looks like.
They're smoking way down bottom here. They might find the bear.
Oh, the bear is going to get found as well. Yeah, they catch it, and it should be a kill.
Yeah.
Envy, obviously. Actually, he doesn't have another one. 70 seconds.
You got that bounty rune, though.
That's true.
So
70 seconds, no bear. That makes a pretty big difference. They still have Aegis. Maybe start cleaning up a couple more of these tier 1s. Mid lane, they've still got them.
Storm Spirit's getting into scary mode. He almost has Scythe here. Practically finished up.
Dire's middle tower
And we talked
is
about
under
the strength of the Scythe against the Storm Spirit because of the BKB that works the same way the other direction
Yeah.
against the TA.
Dire's middle tower
And
has
no
fallen.
deny on the tower there as Nagrata cleans that up. And this is where that Wraith King starts to fall off a little bit. Universe forced heading towards the Aghanim Scepter. That's pretty much the most use that he's going to give. If he can create a Wraith of the Templar, that would be pretty crazy. But his power so far this game has been Blink Stun, and then that starts off a good fight for them, but that's because they were so far ahead that like basically any fight for them just it's gonna feel pretty good. Now it's Blink Stun, and then there's BKBs that might get off in time because they should be able to react. It's a pretty telegraphed stun from a Wraith King, you know?
I mean, the other thing to consider, though, is that was like the 9-second BKB from Iceberg, I believe, that did all of that damage. As that starts to wear down, he becomes less of an effective hero. I guess that it's sort of mitigated by all of the other items that he's gotten.
Yeah.
But it's something to consider at least. Like that Halberd could start to play a big role. Depends a lot on the initiation, I guess.
Well, it is going to be gem on gem now, too, so both teams going to be having their own vision clearing efforts here. So initiation will be depending upon that. They are going to be smoking through a Radiant Ward here. Could be a false sense of security here for Winstrike.
Movement. They do have Iceberg up front and center. He does not want to be the one that breaks the smoke, but instead it looks like it might be Non-Grata breaks the smoke onto the Centaur. I don't know if they realize they're walking over this direction now. And DJ is right on top of him. He sees Iceberg. There's going to be the stun. They're able to follow with the silence as well, but they get the global off. Is it going to be enough? Iceberg gets the BKB cheese, jumps back in, finds himself a kill onto DJ. Buyback from him immediately. Silent. Trying to focus
Silence
down
Wyvern.
They've already taken him down. They find that kill, but the sheep stick, they've got him caught. He's in trouble. They need the Storm Spirit in the fight. No buyback for him. The rest of Winstrike needs to be careful here because they're coming in again hot. Fnatic trying to find these kills, and they have been able to find that silencer. Going to take him down. Non-Grata hoping to save the day for his team, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Highlight Eye goes down. Can they kill him off? Silent jumps in, the absolute madman. They do kill off this Mirana, but can they find any more? Looks like Fnatic might have enough. The Hex, the Fear, but the Cursed Crown keeps him alive. Now the turnaround, the arrow, it's going to go out. They take down one. Nagrata is absolutely crazy, but trying to take down Abed from the other side, and good blink away from him there to keep his life.
Wow, I can't believe they even turned around to be that good looking for them, honestly. But 2 buybacks spent on the Dire side. That means it's a net worth game for the Radiant. Even after all of that, because they're behind.
Look at Non-Grata's damage.
Yeah, the amount he can output with these talents at the attack leap attack speed is just absolutely ridiculous.
And the other thing, too, is that was a fight that was won. I mean, granted, Storm Spirit did a lot, but he died sort of in like the middle part of that fight, and they were still able to do so much.
They also had Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard, and I believe all 3 got used. Yeah, it looks like they're all missing, so...
Okay. They picked up the gem. No Fear was able to steal that one away before the courier took it.
Oh, did they have both gems, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
Big news.
That's very good for Storm Spirit in terms of his Scythe initiation. So if they have the vision advantage over someone, he can just be balling in and Scythe you before you have any chance to react.
You know it's a Fnatic game when you see a graph like this.
Is probably really going to go Scythe? I feel like he needs a mobility item so bad. But maybe his thought process is that... I don't know what his thought process is. I feel like he needs a mobility item. He's just always getting picked off because he's being spotted. But clearly he thinks that it's inevitable that if he's like further away from the team, he'll just get spotted that way. Like they could just moonlight onto him. Maybe he needs to play around the gem anyway.
It's tough.
It's a hard game for him.
Yeah, I mean, Storm Spirit, Ursa, if anybody finds him, basically, it's going to be a quick death. We also need to talk about some of these talents that are coming out. You got level 20, not super significant on the Dark Willow. Any other ones that stick out? Moonlight Shadow cooldown on Mirana, particularly with the gem.
Yeah. Stealing that gem away from them is just, it's so brutal. This is quite the talent. At least it got nerfed a little bit, but that means there's only 12-second downtime. And you can just infinitely span it because it only costs 75 mana.
Radiant are scanning.
Big plays coming out from Winstrike in this one, trying to keep their group stage hopes alive. They really need a win here if they want to try and set their sights on that main event. There was an interview with them earlier in the year when they were at Star Ladder that said, we just want to make it to TI and that's going to be a win. But once you're here, I feel like you start to see the glory in the main stage and you want to make it there for sure.
Yeah.
45 minutes in, 8,000 gold lead.
God, they just feel like they can't do anything for Fnatic right now, right? Because they have no sentries down. They're like, oh, I don't want to play. Do they even have a sentry? They don't even have a sentry. They want to play a sentry. They couldn't play a sentry. Oh, they have the gem down. Okay, sorry. My bad. DJ's holding the gem. He's looking on the high ground for the ward. Make sure there's not one up there.
That one's on me.
That's
they picked
okay.
up another gem.
It's okay. It's all right.
Chase down.
Yeah, this is the invis. So there is a sentry over there.
Oh.
Universe maybe trying to bait here.
He's still rolling over there on the cliff. They're invis over here, buddy. Universe still chasing.
Oh, there's a nice line here.
They're able to find it. Good Hex, but now the Storm Spirit jumps in. They saw the Hex already out, but there's the BKB from Abed. Meanwhile, Silent turns to fight with the Enrage. He takes down Envy. They don't have it. Pylai Dai is in trouble. He gets silenced. He doesn't have anything at all. Meanwhile, the Mute, though, the jump away, Storm Spirit low on mana. He needs to get back into this one. Abed is going to get away for the moment, but the Curse Crown down. They get their sights set on him. They want to focus this hero down. Ursa is the one that they're targeting on the side of Fnatic, but this is not the man to kill. They need to take down the rest of them. Nagra is dealing out the damage, and DJ's just trying to roll away. 4 dead, and they only killed the Ursa.
Oh, well, DJ may be on the side of Fnatic, but it's Winstrike who have turned the tables.
Oh.
As they are now taking the lead in this one.
Oh, Jesus. That was pretty great. I like that. That was wonderful.
Thank you. See what I can.
That was huge. Again, you look at this 2,000 gold lead. At 10,000 experience, Storm Spirit has gotten into that auto remnant talent as well. And Envy was just paper in that fight.
Oh, at least it is a long-ish Roche spawn. Fnatic fans out there will be very happy. Now, if Roche was up right now, I would 100% call this game. That's the point it feels like right now.
God, Non-Grata has a Scotty at this stage on top of the MKB and Mjolnir. Tier 2 tower falls 40 seconds before Abed is going to respawn, and it's starting to feel like they might need a buyback from him if they want to hold on to Tier 3, but
no matter what happens in this game, honestly, what a comeback so far from Winstrike. I just felt like they were in such a horrible position and just a crazy fight outside of the base. Like, they had to take some risks, right? They didn't just wait on their high ground.
Yeah.
And they took that objective, like, they kind of saw this Arcane Rune, and they forced the fight all off the death of an Ursa. definitely shows just like the damage output of some of these heroes is ludicrous.
Definitely.
If you're not, you know, once your BKBs run out, suddenly Dark Willow and Mirana are going to be able to shred you, even when they were that far behind in gold.
Yeah, I think particularly like Nongrata has had a great game.
He really has.
All day, throughout the like laning stage and everything. He was that sort of rock that they had, and then you sort of forget about Mirana, right? Like it sits in the back, just leaps around. It's hard to kill, so you don't want to initiate onto it.
This is the most successful hero in the TI group stage right now, and it's certainly looking like it in this game. I know Nongrata too. Like he's the guy who was really helping to carry them through a lot of the qualifiers. He looked incredible, but then he has to play some different heroes now, right? Like people were worried. I heard some people talking just about like switching to these like ranged offlaners and stuff, and I definitely agree. He wasn't looking that good. Some of these heroes, but Mirana, he looks very comfortable.
They're down 40 seconds until the next one is up. Universe trying to find the stun, but he's invis. They didn't get the vision. Meanwhile, Abed jumps forward. They managed to find the Hex. Who is that? It's Ursa. He's going to end up dropping there. But meanwhile, on the other side, they take down Envy yet again. Dead at the outset. DJ taking the right clicks from Nongrata. He's able to jump away from Universe, who's trying to kill him off. And look at the right clicks, just spamming forward onto that Wraith King. Abed going to blink forward, see if they can take down the Storm Spirit. He's dead. 100 seconds on the sideline, but they do a buyback, and Nongrata just kiting away Universe. He has nowhere left to go. The Cold Embrace, but is it really going to keep him alive? Curse Crown down. A couple more hits, even through the Blade Mail. He's done.
Yeah, that's the Storm Spirit buyback. They're here to secure Roche. Buyback again from the Silencer now too. Envy, are you coming along for the party? He has Bear. As Universe finally dies. Likely to see him buyback too, if there's any sort of movement towards that pit from Winstrike.
They've brought this game back to even. And even looking at times, like right now, they're the ones in the lead for sure. 10,000 net worth, or rather experience lead, and just about even on the net worth. Hex, as well as the Nullifier on the
Radiant's
TA.
bottom tower is under attack.
Has her level 25 Refraction Instances talent. This hero is still terrifying, but it is one that we kind of talk about falling off a little bit as the game goes on.
We'll have to use up Storm to escape. Storm with the Eon this pickup. Very interesting.
And he knows where he wants to find this kill. The BKB is there, and do they really have an answer? The fear is down, and DJ going to face the wrath of the Storm Spirit. Kill him off Universe. They're invis. They don't have detection. They can't find him.
They're botsing forward with Abed here. He's trying to cut him off.
Abed crazy. Isn't even able to find it. They don't have any way to save this guy. He did a buyback. God, he did not have buyback right there. Always want to fly, gets jumped on. He's going to end up dying.
No more from me.
That would have been unbelievable. Abed almost clutches out the game in a single moment off the back of the death of DJ. And we're still at a point where Roche is remaining here. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard. A game to help decide the groups. Only game one in this series. Both of these teams, they need every win. You do not want to be in the lower bracket. You don't want to be eliminated from groups, Winstrike. They're doing everything they can.
They're fighting for their lives. They have the gem now on the Wraith King. The Invis has a couple of times now caught them out, and
oh, the skeletons. They say it's time, Universe. Come to Roche. Dad, where are you? Save us.
I want to take it. Oh, Nongrata is going to run away. You got to be so careful. It's silent. He's thinking about jumping. He does have the Abyssal, but they see him on the trap. And they are not going to go for it. And Envy going to invest into the Aghanim Scepter. A lot of people have mixed feelings about this item.
Mixed feeling as in it's really broken and annoying?
Yeah. But some people
Those
also
kind of
say
mixed feelings?
It's when you feel like you can't win team fights anymore, you go for it also.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, there were a couple times where he had to micro his bear ghost from the Wraith King so that the Spirit Bear could keep attacking. That was pretty funny. So don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Invisibility.
It's true, and now at the very least it means that he can, because he's just been paper and dying every single fight.
Yeah.
At least he has like that extra hero now in the bear. It's going to be around.
But what about the Centaur? No one ever thinks of the Helm Creep.
That's true. What a guy.
Wait, but if you put the helm on the bear... Oh, jeez. All right. Someone can tweet at me if that works. Of course it works. The creep doesn't die. It's just, it's a yoke. It's fine. It's okay, guys.
I was not there with you. Oh, God, but DJ's there with Iceberg. The stun, the silence, the hex, the everything but the Aeon Disc and the turnaround, and they've got him caught. That's the fear. He didn't have his BKB out. Silent turning here, trying to take down this TA. Now Grata is also in the area. They threw out the Winter's Curse, but it hit onto the Dark Willow, not onto the Mirana. They can't take him down. Silent in a ton of trouble, and they also killed off the Storm Spirit. I don't know if it matters anymore that they didn't kill off Grata because...
They've got a lot of buybacks, so they can come back into this as Fnatic, and there's no Storm.
Is gone. They kill off Envy, but he still has his bear.
Still have the bear, still have the buybacks. I think this could be very good for Fnatic.
Dual Scepter lift up. Again, 100 seconds before the Storm is back online. They do have leaps, but they don't have abilities to cast their spells. Disarm trying to run, and it is not going to happen. 100 seconds for him as well, as the Aeon Disc procs for the Dark Willow, just trying to run away. The bear is on top of him, though. Going to start to get the punches onto No Fear. Another one dead. More buybacks.
Oh, downtown arrow connects onto DJ, but they can't follow up even with these buybacks. The rest of Fnatic can slowly back away here, take Roche with very little threat, but 70 seconds, not enough time for them to end the game. The Storm Spirit has been so much for Winstrike.
Look at the gold change here. You've got, what is that, 6,100.
They're starting to come back over here.
Need to be careful. You also have the tier 3 tower that's being assaulted up in the top lane. Arrow connects onto one. It's just the bear, though. Can they kill it off? The Terrorize goes out as well, fearing away the Winter Wyvern. She's not going to be here in this fight. Silent, able to find the Abyssal, but this TA, the Refraction instances, there's so many of them. And No Fear going into the Shadow Realm. They lay down the Magnetize. This should be enough to get the kill. Universe barely living. He threw out the Wraith Fire Blast, which killed him. DJ finds the stun. Where's the gem? They got it caught. Universe is there. What a player. He manages to find Mirana yet again muted. Can she live? No. DJ gets the double. That's no buyback. 2 minutes dead. I was never in doubt. We always knew Fnatic was going to take it.
Oh, it's still not over. That Storm's coming back, and he 1v5 them at the top tier 2 once already. I can't count him out quite yet. But that was the battle for the game. Both teams, only 2 buybacks in the entire game. The Ursa and the Earth Spirit going into that one. And Fnatic, they are the ones who achieve the high ground, start hitting some racks here, but Storm's gonna do everything he can. Starts with the zip, killing some creeps.
It's going all the way out
that
to
back
here.
door, it's about to kick in here. They might get one of these tier 4s.
They don't have a glyph, though. Back door.
Oh, there's creeps. My mistake. They're in there.
Oh, they didn't kill those creeps. They're just going for the tier 4s. They don't have an answer for this. Storm Spirit in trouble. He's going to go for it for the Hex. They need to find themselves a couple kills, but the Winter's Curse is down, and they're going to decide to turn now onto this man. There's going to be the Hex. There's going to be the catch. There's the kill, and it's the game. Fnatic take it.
Oh, the Aeon Disc was nice. Saved him several times, like the Invis initiation from DJ, but not be enough in the end here as Fnatic do close out, I believe, what you would call a barn burner here. That was a very Fnatic game, but it did not have a Fnatic ending because they came back and won it, even after they lost the lead that they had built up there. So.
That's why I love Dota. It's such a fun game that happens back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? That's great.
Turns out that there's a good reason so many people watch it, because it's the best. That's why we're here.
My heart. I got some palpitations going on. Can you help me out after this?
I think so. Right. DJ, Earth Spirit, looked very good. Excellently done. Abed on the Templar Assassin, as always, 10, 3, and 15, finishing note there. But all kinds of credit to Winstrike, honestly. I think they fought back from a seemingly impossible situation and were this close to pulling off the victory. But Fnatic, maybe that experience, clutching it out in the most important of games.
There you go.
Even though they don't have a lot of experience at that. But they did it this time. So they're going to be fighting forward in the next game to try and secure a good spot in the bracket.
Game number 1. Game number 2 right around the corner, everybody. Stick around. More from the TI groups right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the International 8 group stages. We're continuing our coverage here of Fnatic versus Winstrike, and oh my god, game 1 was amazing.
Yeah, so close for Winstrike, but Fnatic, they had a very strong lead, built. Fell down a little bit, but then right back up, and then they took the victory there too. So, just Fnatic kind of playing some of their more traditional strats through most of this group stage, off the back of this Eternal Envy. So here's what I like. So he's playing the Lone Druid in this game.
Okay.
Before the group stages, they were playing a very similar style, where there was a sacrifice for Envy, right? Even in the late phase, even when he was given Terrorblade,
right,
or these heroes that you think of these late game powerhouses, he was still being sacrificed quite a bit for Abed, and it was almost like a lure, I guess, for this hero to be kind of punished and stuff, and then let Abed get out of control. Now, though, he's on this hero like a Lone Druid, who's way harder to gank. As you can see, like being able to use, like, has a way stronger laning presence, which lets DJ go and do other stuff. Like, you try and solo a TB, doesn't go as well as soloing a Lone Druid for the first couple of levels, right? So I feel like they've made some adjustments in their playstyles, but they're also staying true to some of their more practiced and tried and true materials that they've been using before the group stages.
Well, and the other thing about it is that the group stage, or rather the meta, feels like it fits them in that way as well, because it's like these cores that are tending to be sacrificed, and then you bump up your position 4 player to have more farm. So it's like, it's this weird combination of like, the meta has evolved around Fnatic, kind of, but they're
just
changed
along
their
for the
stuff
ride.
too. Exactly, right? It feels like it works. On the other side of things, Winstrike, they've been struggling, and they continue to struggle. I think that we saw some of the strength of them in the last game, that like sort of, it felt like a coiled back spring in a way, and particularly Non-Grata, who was they were waiting for the right moment, and then they took the fight, and it ended up working out for them, and they were able to hold a little bit. But I would say some of that also maybe off the back of a couple of overextensions by Fnatic. So I think that I like in some ways what we're seeing from Winstrike, but I would like to see better execution.
Winter Wyvern.
Well, Wyvern will be back again here for Paladai. Had a couple tough fights, but he was the focus, so it's understandable that sometimes you can't get off your ultimate when you're this position 5 hero, because you're being targeted down every single time by a leaping blue ball of lightning. And they're going to try their luck again with it here.
How many games do you think Paladai has played Wyvern this term? I guess they put it on Universe
the
sometimes
vast majority.
Too. It really feels like this. Occasionally, Universe plays it, and like he'll play Avenger or Silencer or something. But yeah, it's a lot of pie Wyvern. Wyvern pie.
Perfect. Okay, so now I was going to say it was going to guard them against the Wyvern, because if they wanted to go Weaver into some sort of a Wyvern strat, you still have this Wyvern, which is nice, right?
Yeah.
But they just take it for themselves. And this has been an opener for a couple different teams. LGD has been doing it, I believe. They've just been taking it in the first phase. I think Fnatic have done it a couple times as well this tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we saw a game earlier today where somebody took the Drow into the Wyvern immediately afterwards, and it was like, we don't care. We just think Drow is good enough.
Yep.
But yeah, very interesting stuff there, and I think that it's, they've had a long day. They've wanted to, go in for a heck of a lot of, pressure, and it's good to see.
And now in terms of what are they going to do for Winstrike here? With their Weaver, do they want to go for the old Venge up against the Drow strat? They might want something with a little bit better AoE.
Possibly. Seems good.
Yeah. They're certainly taking their time. I don't know if they've faced a Drow strat quite yet. It doesn't look like it's been something that have gone up against Winstrike. So sometimes you can see certain teams' ideas, but not going to be the chase here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, next up on the list of things to think about there, it is going to be the Silencer. Hey, guess what? He's back again.
The big position 5 being picked quite a bit here in this tournament. I don't know. I'm a bit of a Silencer hater. All the other position 5s, I'm pretty okay with. You know, I don't mind all of them. Silencer, he hasn't won me over yet. The reasons why I would say is that he just doesn't have that same laning presence that a lot of the other position 5s do. He's annoying in the lane, but he can't do the same stuff, Like, he can't offer really good kill potential unless he's with a core that has a stun or a slow, whereas you look at, maybe a Wyvern that offers a bit of a slow itself, lots of damage over time. Crystal Maiden has a root and a slow, which does quite a bit of damage over time. Those are the kind of heroes that I'm enjoying to see, and I feel like give you a strong start, at least in your drafting phase. Silencer can be good. I feel like he's an okay hero, but I don't think he's first phase material in a lot of games.
And the other thing, too, about him is that he doesn't offer that save potential with, like, a TP to another lane if somebody's being dove, right? Like, so if there is aggressive other lanes, you are losing out that much more. Yeah, I'd kind of agree with you. I guess the bonus and maybe the reason why teams are prioritizing it, we think back again to that Enigma that we've seen Universe play a couple of different times. It preempts the problems that could come with that and the IO. Could be good.
That's true, but at the same, I mean, like I was already banned, and it's just like
I'm playing
if you
devil's
wanna-
advocate here,
I
man.
know.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I
I'm
hear
trying to
ya.
stick up my little conehead brother over there.
Yeah.
5
Darkseer's not
seconds
getting
remaining.
picked. Somebody with
That's
a
true.
triangle head needs to get picked up.
Yeah, he is one of the few
Fanatics
remaining
turn
unpicked
to
heroes, and his buddy Slardar, who would love to lane together. Still not picked, at least unless some of the other streams have had it very recently. But either way, we make it into this phase. Bans will be classic second phase bans versus Fnatic, the Visage, and the Wind Ranger. Something that both of those can be upgraded to first phase for them, I'm sure, with Envy being able to play both the Visage and Abba being able to play the Visage. And the DJ Wind Ranger is just ridiculous.
10 seconds remaining.
So this should be the DJ hero. Unless they've
Willow?
got something a little bit
5
sneaky. Ooh,
seconds
Dark Willow's a pretty
remaining.
good shout. With the Drow strat, lots of extra damage. Could just be the Venge for themselves.
Oh God, Venge is in the pool. Jeez, this is bad. This is bad for Winstrike. Oh man.
I wouldn't mind Earth Spirit, even though it's not a ranged hero. I do think that, but then your lanes might be a bit weak. The only thing I like about it is that it's a really good control element up against the Weaver,
Right.
and I do think that's something you're going to want to look for. I guess Dark Willow's done pretty well against Weaver in all these games too, though.
Yeah.
That Terrorize just completely takes away all the combos you want to do with Weaver, where you're just keeping your Shikuchi ready and then appearing, damage, disappear.
Winstrike's turn to pick.
And that will be the pick here. So nice little call there.
And do they take the Venge themselves? Venge Weaver. It's tails all the time.
It is a strong support. Is it strong enough versus a Drow Ranger? I feel like you want one of
Yeah.
these Blink 4s.
And with something maybe a little bit of wave clear since you don't have much from the silencer too.
Yeah. They played a lot of Treant too.
10 seconds
All you have to do is bring a
remaining.
Sentry, though, and that takes away a lot of the power of Treant when you're pushing as an earlier strat, too.
5 seconds
This
remaining.
puts them in a really tough position. You've got like two great team fighters. You've got tower damage inherently. You've got a pretty strong lane because of everything else. Like the first three picks from Fnatic here seem very strong. I feel like they need to all in on a Drow counter.
Yeah, I feel like I know they've played Shaker a couple times, and must feel pretty comfortable with it, so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards here.
Iceberg plays Brood too.
That is true. They could be eyeing up towards that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Wyvern doesn't do very well against Brood, even though you'd think it would. But Tiny's also still in the pool, so they could just go back for that.
Yeah, that's tough. And maybe they might end up saving
Fanatics
Winstrike Brood for
turn
fourth.
to pick.
They're going to take the Tusk.
Okay, so that is a bit of a melee 4 here. Doesn't need the blink, can still provide the same kind of initiation. Get on top of the Drow Ranger, disable the marksmanship. Okay.
It's the first Tusk I've seen so far of the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we've got to cast one. I know he's been picked,
Yeah.
but first time he's going to be gracing our presence, so...
An endangered species, the walrus.
10
Yes,
seconds
indeed.
remaining.
I actually don't think they are.
Well, they are in
Winstrike's
Dota,
turn
so it's fine.
Yeah,
You should know. We were at the Vancouver Aquarium, and did
That's
it say
right.
endangered next to the walrus? No.
You know
so
why?
they're not.
Because there weren't walruses at the Vancouver Aquarium.
Yes, there was. There was one. He was lying on his side.
Oh, is that
Remember?
a walrus?
That was a walrus.
That thing was cute. I love that
It
thing.
was
You
huge.
look like a giant slug.
Yeah, pretty much. It's because he wouldn't sit up.
Look at
Very
these guys.
lazy
They're
walrus.
crazy.
This is a bipedal walrus. Yes, they are insane. They're going with the
10
Enigma
seconds
versus the
remaining.
Silencer. So this fully destroy Silencers being a good pick. Get him out of
5
here.
seconds
If you can
remaining.
pick Enigma and a Silencer, he must be trash. That's my opinion.
That's pretty true.
Get rid of this guy.
Or does that mean Enigma's really, really good?
Oh, Enigma's definitely really, really good.
Maybe that's just a showing of how good Enigma is, that you can pick it into the most common counter and it doesn't matter.
Well, Fnatic are going to try and prove a point in the very least here with that. And they leave the Abed hero left. I mean, we think the Abed hero, who knows, last to be picked.
So there is still Meepo in the pool. I don't know if Fnatic need to go all in on Drow Meepo, or if they're just comfortable taking sort of like a safe, tanky core.
I kind of envision like maybe a Storm.
Okay.
Silencer's pretty annoying for a Storm Spirit too, though, to be fair.
DK is the other classic
10
option that we've
seconds
seen a
remaining.
couple of times.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
would TA do all right here? I feel like they need a front. They definitely need a frontliner. Okay. So I'm not so sure about TA. I'd rather get up in their faces like that Dragon Knight that you'd mentioned. That feels more like the space.
What's missing in their draft right now? Like you've got
Visage.
team fight. Okay, well, yeah.
Visage is the hero that's missing.
You've got like team fight though. You've got pretty strong lanes ish. Is there anything that's really?
I want someone who they can jump on that won't die instantaneously, and then Enigma and Wyvern can set up around it.
Okay.
So that's why I think Dragon Knight just it's perfect.
I mean, there also might be Winstrike potentially banning it out.
Winstrike's turn
They
to
take the
ban.
Tiny away.
So they could just brood. No, Tiny I think is just a good hero. Getting on top of the Drow Ranger and nuking instantaneously. Could have been a pretty good hero for Fnatic too, honestly.
Winstrike could brood.
Is it good enough? I guess it depends. Do they even play brood?
I think Iceberg does do it from time to time. I'm not positive though.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like I've seen him spamming it in pubs at least at some point.
5
maybe
seconds
they're gonna.
remaining.
I think they're gonna Bloodseeker for Winstrike. They haven't picked that either, have they? That does look pretty good here, though, right? Like spamming lanes, Weaver, Silencer, Pugna, a lot of just constant damage being thrown out there. And there's no one that can really go mid against a Bloodseeker and absolutely destroy him. And they will ban the Brood because they see that Tiny ban and they're like, maybe they want Brood Mother.
Odd.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay. See if they got the Bloodseeker in them. Or whatever else there is.
What are they missing? They have building
10
push with the
seconds
Pugna.
remaining.
The Roshing is very weak overall. It's okay with the Weaver, but I
5
don't
seconds
think there's a lot of
remaining.
mid heroes other than TA that can really help you out there. And it doesn't look like a particularly good TA game.
It's like sometimes you can run Ursa mid, but that's knowing what the matchup is going into it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that likely.
Alchemist, I guess, is kind of okay. It's hard for a lot of like those Drow heroes to really punish an Alch, but then they could just go for something kind of equally greedy, like a Storm Spirit
Could they like go PA, just run at them?
for Winstrike.
Yeah.
Could be a bit risky, I think.
I mean, definitely. At this
'Cause
point, I
then
feel
how
like you
you
got to
gonna
take
lane?
some risks.
Oh, sure, but
PA mid, the old school, the old.
yeah, Dagger's pretty bad. Pretty bad for that these days.
Oh,
That's old
different
school.
route.
Just give me SF, guys.
Yeah, that's really bold. I mean, I guess he should have a pretty 1v1 lane no matter who it is, but I mean, what punishes SF here?
I don't even think you need to punish the SF too hard. I think you just want. They
10
could go
seconds
back for a
remaining.
Storm now. I think, although, yeah, I think Storm's kind of okay, honestly.
5
Even though it's not
seconds
really that big
remaining.
tanky thing. Dragon Knight is not someone you want to pick into a Shadow
Yeah.
Fiend, so that could be why they went for the SF, just thinking that was a really solid looking hero for the side of Fnatic, and they're trying to push them away from that matchup. Timbersaw doesn't do too well either, as Abed was also playing that earlier today, but kind of fits that same mentality of the tanky hero who's in the front line. And then there is just Meepo. How much do they like winning Dota? So they want to cement themselves fully in the Meepo Dota.
I have to ask you real quickly.
Okay.
I didn't reapply this thing at the end of the console, but it should stay over from the next one, right?
I think so.
All right, we're just making sure.
Guess we're going to find out.
I really hope that it did stay over because I reapplied it, started the cast.
I'm pretty sure you're fine.
I'm freaking out over here, Trent.
Yeah,
I'm
I
worried
can
that I'm
tell.
going to mess up production.
You'll just have to do the really quick console tap enter.
Is that how it
Console up key enter.
works? Okay,
All right.
I'm ready.
Boom. You'll be so fast.
They'll never
You guys
see
just
it
all
coming.
close your eyes.
Don't look.
It's going to be A-okay.
You may
And
now
Clinks.
select
Okay.
your heroes.
So that's definitely not a right up in the front line kind of hero. So that's the only downside I'd say of the Fnatic draft. But
That worries me. I think
there's
that
no one in the front
Fnatic-
line.
I like this Winstrike draft in some ways. I feel like they at least identified the problems that are coming in. Whether or not they can solve it, I'm not so sure.
Well, the front line now is just two heroes. Like, it's like the front line has been extended to like a mid line and then a back line. So the back line is Winter Wyvern, Dark Willow, and Enigma, who are all going to be sitting behind Clinks and Drow Ranger, who will be spread apart, so they're not being like AoE combo down, and they can both just start hitting towers and doing stuff. And you try and go on either of them. There's a Terrorize, there's a Winter's Curse, and there's a Black Hole that'll be coming from 3 different angles. So it's not
10
as standard as the
seconds
traditional
remaining.
stuff, but I can totally see how it still works.
Fly in formation, and
seconds
everything will be okay.
It's pretty much it. Yeah, the Flying V will carry you.
You have one in the middle though, so it's like a flying W
All right, fair.
for Vancouver.
Perfect.
As we get ready to hop into this game number 2, Fnatic versus Winstrike. And Winstrike again, they're at the bottom of the barrel right now, digging deep, trying to find something to grab onto to pull their group stage back up.
Dude, it's
from the
Iceberg
depths.
Shadow Fiend. If Iceberg, I think of OD, and I think of just like baller Shadow Fiend stuff. You know,
Yeah.
this guy, he's a good Dota player.
I mean, that was
He
the
knows how to
famous.
swag.
That was like the big match that he sort of made his name on. Was the Yule Scepter, Blink Dagger, Shadow Fiend when he went for the cooldown reductions and went like all in on the Octarine core. He lost the game, but it looked cool. And then he came back and was
That's
able
what
to do
counts.
better at Epicenter. And I think that was when they took down Virtus Pro, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So this guy, a storied history on this hero.
To the moon.
That was their
That's where
name.
Winstrike's trying to go.
That's true.
They still got that little rocket ship.
As we load into this one, we'll see if I have given production nightmares or if
Dun
I'll
dun.
be having sweet dreams.
We're gonna find out. How exciting! Oh, you're fine. See,
Oh,
you did
God.
it.
That was really scary.
Yay! Production gives him a round of applause.
Thank goodness.
Prepare for battle.
You actually have no idea how scared I was right there.
Oh, I know.
All right, the good lucks come out as we do have Nangrata going to run down towards the mid lane, lay down a ward. One of the strengths of having that very, very fast Skeleton Man. He's a little bit quicker than the Skeleton Man on the other team. Do they run into each other?
I won't lie.
Don't think so.
That was unexpected.
They do ping it. They saw him. Oh, it's good stuff. They saw the Clinks play down the ward, and that is going to be a free D ward most likely.
Really nice play. Using those high movement speed heroes. I mean, Earth Spirit used to be the hero that started doing that with his rolling around and everything. But Pugna, stupidly fast, can do it. And no fear with a lot of good luck being given over to Fnatic.
Hey. Busia.
Underutilized. Fogged was really looking for some more players to go for that one, so Abed, you're performing his wishes, and oh, that's how you start a lane, right? Yeah, tip them up right there. They like that.
I like that.
DJ's getting on that.
That's pretty great right there. An astronomical price. I like that you get to see a little bit more emotion and flavor coming out from these
Yeah.
players.
I mean, he is the swagger fiend. It wasn't his choice, guys.
That's true. You have to have
The
it.
game took over control of this hero.
He's compelled to do this thing.
All right, back for the rune. They will get it. So 3 of them so far secured for Winstrike.
The courier. Oh man, that was close.
Jeez, Winter Wyvern. All right, so they'll get back, and they will get 1 bounty rune for the side of the Radiant.
Not what you love to see, but nonetheless, it's something for
This
DJ.
Insanely farmed Shadow Fiend coming in already with 1 soul. I don't know what Abed can do now.
That's big stuff.
I think they have to bring Pylite Eye in because it's so devastating that he
Oh,
had
God.
this 1 soul.
Iceberg is actually going to be so mad about this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, just get dual laned. You want to taunt? Get dual laned.
And it is the spray taunts. You don't see it all that often. but it's happening more
Underutilized
and
for
more
sure.
often. Envy in a little bit of trouble here. They got some damage onto him. Shard's block, but also the right clicks coming in from Nangrata. The Skelly Man forces him back into the salve.
All right, so their resources spent for that salve was basically just the cost of ice shards.
Yeah.
Should be pretty pleased with that one.
And you need to get a lot of value out of those from the Tusk. Not a high mana pool. They don't have something like a CM on their team. He's going to be out of them soon.
Radiant structures are
So the
fortified.
glyph is going to come out now.
No.
Kind of actually keeps the creep wave in a decent spot here, as they're going to be able to find a couple denies for Winstrike. And Shard's a little bit off the mark. They do force out the Arctic Burn, and they're not going to get a hit. There it is on the No Fear. Suddenly he's down to very low HP from that one. Oh, and then the decreps as well to mess up the last hitting for Envy.
Yeah, very nice. Nothing a Drow Ranger can do about that. No nukes or anything. That means Pilot Eye gets to steal them if he decrypts the Drow, that is.
Abed trading hits with Iceberg here. Gets his salve out after the fact. And it's kind of an interesting matchup. The strafe going to be used oftentimes as you're playing the Shadow Fiend. You need to hit all of the raises and then a couple more right clicks.
Yeah.
That's another salve used by Abed.
Gets right there, but it's near the end of the salve anyway. Iceberg walking down with the mango.
Man.
Hits him again. And that's the salve. Iceberg's open AIing him, salving and diving the tower.
This is pretty crazy. They're making it happen. And while I'm just watching that happen, they are going to find the kill onto one. Envy bottom lane ends up going down.
It's okay. The mid's way more exciting anyway.
It is actually way more exciting nowadays, it feels like. The mid lane. And
It's
how
good to have
goes.
it back.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same heroes as when we left the 1v1 meta, but at least SF, you know, he's always been there.
Totally. And so far, 13, or rather, yeah, 13-7 versus the 10-0. This is kind of the way that these Shadow Fiend matchups tend to go.
Net worth-wise, though, it's like a 300 gold advantage for Iceberg because he doesn't end up burn all his gold into regen.
Always want to fly, going for one last punch onto him from DJ, but that's going to come at the cost of his life. Winstrike able to find another kill.
Diving a bit deep there. It's an odd spot for the Dark Willow too, where eventually Universe does just want to be left alone. You start pulling back the wave, utilizing the demonic conversion. Still wants to be trying to benefit from denies as much as possible, but doesn't really need Dark Willow. Can sometimes hurt. I mean, you can see Universe already has 9 denies, in fact.
Mid lane, Abed. They're here, no fear. 2 points in the shards. Last for 5 seconds if they can get within range, but it's a scary one to make happen. There's going to be the punch. There's going to be the shards. Need to find themselves a couple of raises. One more. Ah, he hesitated. I thought he had it.
And he also had the strafe to dodge the right clicks too, so tough kill to get. And still, nice spend of the Invis rune. Got plenty of damage onto Abed. He has the salve up again.
Yeah, and you talked about it, that net worth, it's really becoming apparent. 850 on the Clinks versus 1,600 on Iceberg.
And he's not even the top of his team is with that kill onto Envy. It is Non-Grata here, dominating once more. 2nd game in a row, looking very good to start. See if he can keep that rolling.
Yeah.
And he has Arcane Boots. This is a great lane for Arcane Boots. With a Tusk on your team, yes, please.
Super farmed. Has the salve up, ready to go, and keep the pressure on Envy, who's just level 3. Top lane also, as we get ready for the 5-minute runes, it looks like they're ready to battle this out, and Always Want to Fly just going to sneak his way through these brambles that have been laid down. And now DJ, what are you really left to do here? Silent lays down the bugs. Going to try and do what damage he can. They have another Sakuchi in. A second damage is not going to be there to find the kill, and instead, oh, Silent thought about going back in. This is some scary stuff. Always Want to Fly looking for the right clicks, and Silent sticks around, finds the kill. And that should secure him the bounty runes.
Yeah, a couple different, back and forth there. Couldn't figure it out, but... And down bottom, Pilot Eye also going down to try and secure that bounty rune as No Fear will head there. So Universe will get his own, or maybe Silent. He's trying to change that.
Yeah, they're moving in, dealing the damage here as well. The right click's coming through. Silent taking a lot of damage, and with the Sakuchi away, he'll be fine. But they do manage to secure 3 bounty runes for Winstrike.
So that's against. They've got like 6 out of the 8 so far, I believe.
That leads to a 2,000 gold advantage. 5 minutes into this game. A great start for Winstrike. I mean, again, we talked about it. If they're going to win this, they need to do it by dominating these lanes. And so far, so good.
Yeah, MD's even single pulling down here just to try and fix this lane a little bit. But there's a dive. Is that another salve? My goodness.
They make it happen. Iceberg needs to be careful. He needs to get the raise off. No Fear finds the kill, but it comes at a cost as Iceberg dies. And again, No Fear going to fall.
Pilot Eye, the winner on that one, eh? Getting plenty of experience for himself. 428, that is huge. That's definitely going to open up the tone for DJ. And speaking of which, top lane, they're going in on the silencers. Universe TP's out, and he survives.
Gets away! Unbelievable.
So narrow. He escaped that time. Silent does from quite a few of his Eidolons, though. It's about 50 gold.
And again, a little bit just off the mark there with Iceberg trying to get the raises out.
Oh my god, Abed's so poor.
Yeah, he has had a really tough time so far. Having to invest in these raindrops also, just another consumable.
On this vision here from Iceberg, inside of Winstrike, spawning everything.
To get this kill. Iceberg assaulted and going to finish.
All right, just to confirm, that is a dire reward. No, just not expecting the Dark Willow there as well. So try to play aggressive with the Wyvern, kind of baiting some attention from the hero, but it ends up costing him his life.
Pretty decent gold swing that direction as well. The last couple kills have been. You look at it and it's suddenly gone from 3,000 to 1,500. So about even on experience after all the kerfuffle that was happening.
And this Courier might just scout out the Tusk. No, went right past him. So Tusk will see the Courier, but Courier won't see him. And they'll see if they can get a kill onto this Drow Ranger, level 6 on the Pugna. Great time to go for it. Radiant Vision still not seeing this Tusk. Envy. Oh, he sees the Tusk now. He's too close. The creep wave. No fear. What are you doing?
To back out there by the Envy and just a little bit too close
that
to
tree. He didn't realize it was cut down, so it's like a typically safe spot to stand, no longer safe.
Am I crazy? Does Drow have better vision? I feel like she should.
No, you're crazy.
I feel like she should have better vision though, right?
Like, she's wearing dark clothes?
Yeah, look at her. She's got a little mask on. Maybe it's hiding. Her bangs are covering her eyes.
Yeah, so she should have terrible vision.
Top CS all right now for Winstrike.
Dire
And
are scanning.
they're just going to keep the pressure on. There's the snowball in, and there is not a whole lot you can do to stop this one. Envy TPing away. Is this going to work? Is he actually out of there, Envy?
Top lane, they
With the
also
gust.
went in on the Silencer and Silence, so trying to get them both. Silencer is abandoned for them to go for the kill on the Weaver, and obviously the value play there. So Envy, great TP out.
God, if they had just been able to get like any of their other skills off from Non-Grata, that's a kill.
Well, Iceberg finds a DD rune.
Radiant's bottom
Abed didn't already
tower
have
is
problems
under
in this lane.
attack.
And he has just pretty much abandoned it now. We'll come back every now and then to see if he can push out the creep wave, but Iceberg is having himself a nice old time. Does get the Fortify out as well.
Top lane, always want to fly. Juke and jiving through that maze. He's a regular old puzzle solver. He'll
They
be
have
okay.
time lapse. And with the damage out. Pile Die, yeah, you talked about it, that early rotation and being able to pick up those couple of kills. He's level 6 now. Always want to fly is in just in no man's land. Super dead.
Not expecting that many heroes. Have they even noticed there's a curse here? This seems really dangerous.
They have a black hole. No,
Oh,
the black
no!
hole on top of the curse. That's how it's meant to be.
And now
DJ.
Iceberg's coming.
They throw it on top of all of them. The DD from hell as Pile Die is just going to have to run and try and fly away. Oh, that was not how it's meant to be done.
Where's the chat wheel now?
He's going to TP, or rather, just, he's going to hug himself as he falls. Oh, wow. I mean, it happens.
It does. It's, yeah, you don't have that communication. No one expects the Wyvern to be level 6. I mean, that's not on the Enigma. Like, that should be announced at that point. By the way, I'm Pile Die, and I'm level 6 at 9 minutes. Like, how can that possibly be on any other human being?
It's true enough.
Who would
Same level
expect
as
that?
Envy. Envy, speaking of which, here at the Bounty Runes, very early. Just to make sure he gets that one. Silent. Gonna be hit by the Cursed Crown, but we'll be able to walk away from it. And now Non-Grata is there. Going to go for the catch, and now Always Want to Fly shows up. And unfortunately, Envy gonna get neither of the bounties. Oh, that hurt.
Did more than hurt. It hindered him. He's got -2. Give him that int over now. 4 stolen for Always Want to Fly.
Dire's top
So,
tower
Clanks
is under attack.
in the area. Iceberg, do they have an inkling? Do they have an idea? Do they realize what's happening? There's the dust. Iceberg, they have the snowball save? No. They don't decide to use it. He's going to die to that one now. Silent shows up. Can they kill off Abed? They also have the Pugna here going to go for the Decrep, and the ulti is going to find that kill. And Weaver not doing enough damage to kill off No Fear as they try and chase down Pile Day. Have vision over him this entire time. Going to save the snowball most likely.
Radiant structures
Although they do
are
also have the punch, and with no TP, it didn't matter anyways.
Is under attack.
Double kill for
Dire's
Non-Grata.
top tower has fallen.
Okay, well, Enigma there.
Radiant's
Universe was able to
middle
push
tower
on
is
in,
under
though,
attack.
with the catapult and took the tower down with his Helm of the Dominator. So that was a pretty nice grab for the side of the Fnatic. Envy also playing way far back here.
Yeah.
Waiting for his courier. He's the one who gets the tome. Oh, no, that's for DJ, I think. And Envy's getting his boots delivered. Yeah, DJ will get the tome. Oh, no, DJ bought the tome for Envy. Hard life.
That happens.
That's good, though. They definitely need it. I mean, that's going to help DJ more than giving it to himself. He's already level 6, so you might as well get the bonus damage from your Drow Ranger hitting 7.
Yeah, it's good stuff. 41 damage apiece. It's so crazy how much you get from that one. Silent, just going to go in there and mess with Pile Die a little bit. There was also the tier 1 tower taken bottom by Winstrike while all that action was happening, and they'll be able to get a pull off here. You look at the vision right now for the Dire, and some of it did get dewarded by Pile Die, but they've got some pretty good view into the jungle where we might see Envy try and recover.
Yeah, Envy going to be spotted up by Silent now here, too.
He's going in for this one, kind of. On top of Envy. Has the bugs and the time lapse.
Maybe just trying to force some rotations.
Yeah. Nothing doing.
Top lane. Ooh, they have an Invis rune here. They could use this to set up on heroes trying to push in that top lane, too. But they're going to preemptively put down a sentry here from DJ. So they have the observer ward here. So this way, if the Weaver comes through this little path, they'll have perfect vision. Wow. Predicted by Fnatic. It won't end up mattering, though, as he shows there.
Can they actually do anything to him, though? They're moving in with Abed. They look for the
he didn't go for it.
terrorize. It's going to hit. They have him caught. There's the Maledict as well. Global Silence to follow it up, though, and the snowball comes through. On to 2. Can they kill him off? Walrus
have
punch
Black Hole
down
ready,
as well.
though.
Universe trying to TP out. He's going to die before he can escape, and they've also got eyes here onto the Dark Willow. Can they kill him off? Snowball on cooldown.
No chance to find something there. So very good response there from Winstrike. And that was kind of the story in the game number 1, too. They hit a couple of really nice rotations where it was like, man, they read exactly what Fnatic were trying to do. Caught them off, but this time it's we'll see if it's enough to actually keep the game in their favor.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower
it's
is under
it
attack.
needs to sort of continue to be this pressure that they're felt throughout. I've been impressed with what No Fear's been able to do on this Tusk. I think it's a hero that's overlooked. Still has that great GPM talent at level 10, which he's getting
Radiant's
closer
top
to.
tower is under
So
Yeah.
I think this hero offers a lot of value. I swear I speak English.
Sometimes.
Grunt mid lane. No you. Is he gonna get the ulti down and kill off Abed?
That will shut you
Now.
And right into the tower. Pugna will easily guarantee this.
Radiant's middle tower
played.
is Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
13 minutes in, a 4,000 gold lead for Winstrike.
Dagon. Finished up here for our Pugna, it looks like.
Wow.
Those are some squishy heroes on the Radiant. DJ is going to be very quick on the Shadow Realm if he wants to survive. And he can finish off targets who end up getting cold embraced, which Pilot Eye definitely uses more than a lot of the other Winter Wyverns we've seen.
Yeah. A lot of magical damage on this team in general.
And Iceberg has just been hiding away in the jungle, just like the Drow Ranger, but he's going to come out much more aggressive than Envy will.
Radiant are scanning.
Envy's just stacking Wraith Bands to help his team, whereas there's going to be a Shadow Blade initiating upon his opponents now from Iceberg. After this wave.
Scary. And, you know, if you do have that initiation, like, losing any of Fnatic's team starts to feel really, really bad. They need to be able to sort of work their team fight all together. And we've seen just how strong this Global Silence can be.
Are they going to catch them again? They're back in the same spot. This time they're smoked up, though, going right past the Observer, which could be keeping them safe. Scan, not available right now for Fnatic, so if there's any inkling, they can't go for it. Now they see the SF farming. That might make them feel safer than they really are. They're going to cut off the back line.
They get into Envy, a good silence there as well, and they have the leg drain. They actually turn this, though, with the Winter's Curse, and there's going to be the SF trying to take down a kill on the Dark Willow, but it's instead Dark Willow that kills off the SF. This hero's insane! Envy will fall. And they also take down that Dark Willow off of the Death Requiem. Abed trying to live here, the Decrypt, the Turn, the Dagon, and everything else. Can they keep Abed alive? I don't think so.
Universe still being hunted down here as well. Look at the black hole, the damage from the tower. It might be enough, but is it damage or is it heal? It's damage on the Enigma from Non-Grata to make sure he goes down.
And snowballs go through black holes, apparently. Tusk
It's
able
just
to
physics, ladies and gentlemen.
manipulate time and space. And 15 minutes in, a 5,000 gold lead as Winstrike continue to dominate.
So Pilot Eye TP down here with no HP. Always want to fly very close, but the Shrine will be used.
Radiant's top
He
tower
needs to get
is
those
under
lanes
attack.
pushed out, it feels like, I guess. And man, the Dagon already coming into play. It's looking good.
Who got zapped down? I missed it.
I think it was the Clinks.
Radiant's top tower is
That
under
should work
attack.
through strafe.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to target it as the same as a Laguna Blade.
We did extensive testing on
did.
Clinks. And by we, I mean Odie Pixel and Fog. We were looking over their shoulders.
Radiant's
Hey, I
top
did my own extensive
That's
testing.
true.
I'll
You
have
did.
you know.
You did.
Wow.
I
No credit.
really just should say I didn't do that
Yeah,
testing.
exactly.
I did nothing, and now I'm just taking that research as my own. As we're going to continue towards the tier 2 tower in the top lane. Catapult, they do a good bit, and Universe, the black holes. I mean, whether it's been because of teammates together with him, or just having to deal with the silencer, or the fact that he doesn't have that much HP against a Pugna, it's been a rough game.
Yeah, I think just the team fights in general just are not starting off the way that they're ever going to look good for Fnatic. Very good movements coming out from Winstrike, catching them split up inside Fnatic, mostly because they feel the need to split up right now, is Iceberg looking for the big ulti.
Oh, finds himself a Universe, and that's a triple raise as well to finish him off.
Oh my
and
God,
also
all those
the Dark
Eidolons.
Willow.
That was so much gold.
I didn't happen to see it.
It was a lot.
All right, fair enough. And Dagon, jeez, Pilot died just so close to going down. And
top tower is under attack.
I mean, look at this tower. You throw out a couple of these Nether Blasts, and it's just a huge problem. They're chasing down Pilot Die here. Nangrata is a madman.
That little Pugna, he's so fast.
Oh, there's the snowball for the kill. No fear. Picks that one up for himself. Winstrike feel like they're playing like they're having fun right now. This is the style of Dota that they like.
All it took was 9 losses in a row for them to find themselves. It's not too. It's never too late at TI. That's not true. Sometimes it is too late, but I refuse to look at the bracket to see if it is. So for now, we continue the hope for Winstrike, and they're continuing to hope too.
Oh, Silent. Maybe in a little bit of trouble here. They're actually able to burst him down. So they do take the tier 2 tower, but it comes at the cost of their Weaver.
Illusion.
9-20, the 7,000 gold lead.
So they can definitely go in for Roche for the side of the tire. What are the comeback potential? I mean, there's Enigma and there's Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
Layered on top of one each other does not look too good, but separate instances, very strong spells. Wyvern doesn't really have to worry too much about the silencer in terms of the initial pop-off. Just if the fight occurs and the global's covering it, that is indeed going to be a problem. But
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
definitely still thinking Fnatic have a good chance in this one. Certainly more biased towards them just because they are a more experienced team, that they've been in these situations. We've seen them pull off comebacks like this before. A team that has certainly looked comfortable behind in many of their games.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even call it bias, more so just that like you feel as if they're the type of team that's used to this situation and anticipating them to you know, do it. I think that's what everybody's kind of feeling right now. And Winstrike, you know, they look really good, but this has kind of been the formula. When they win games, they stomp them like this, and then they continue that throughout the rest of the entire match. But occasionally things do go awry. As Pugna finishes off the Yule Scepter. Still got the Dagon queued up to go for more levels of it, but feeling like he wants that survivability and answer to Drow Ranger Silence. As well as, I guess, just like the Terrorize or whatever else.
He's just in the trees up top, nothing else to do. Universe holding the line bottom, or mid rather, and Pilot Eye, the one holding the line in the bottom lane, almost into the Glimmer Cape. Drops a random sentry, double checks for no observers, plants one down. We'll be scattered out here now, though. Find observer ward, and that helps them know that Roche is 100% safe.
Like you said, great Roche taking lineup. They do get the bugs off of them now, but do have another round of them in 2 seconds. They drop down the Willow ulti, thinking about going for it. Roche, it's so low right now.
Things just got spicy.
This is really scary right now as they're going to go for it, but not able to secure the Terrorize in time. Nangrata won't be able to find the kill. They do get Roche.
Yeah, No Fear was close to getting over there with an Ice Shard into a snowball kind of a play, but not there in time. And I think that was the best call for Fnatic not to opt in towards that. It would have been pretty dangerous. Without the Blink Dagger on top of Universe, hard to get into the pit and actually make the big play, and just the Terrorize wouldn't have been enough.
Man, I love this play by Envy. Like, it's absolutely crazy, but you're like going around trying to farm out the jungle where you can. You know that your team needs you to get into this BKB, and like it's probably more safe than your own jungle in a certain way right now.
Yeah, there's one thing about Envy that people have noticed before is that he's extremely good at predicting enemy map movements. Hello.
Well, is he? No! We cursed him.
I mean, he is good at predicting the map movements. He just thought he'd be able to survive quick enough. But the TP was a little slow.
Yeah. That'll happen.
Probably wasn't looking at his hero. That would be my assumption.
That one hurt a lot. I mean, I guess at the end of the day,
DJ
it's like
thinks he's safe.
Nangrata.
Hello. Where's the Dagon? Oh, he got it off in time.
Good play. Oh, and the Terrorize hits on both of them. Is he going to take down this Pugna? DJ! All right, this is how you can tell it's a Fnatic game. Envy ends up dying solo randomly. Oh, no, but DJ's going to go down regardless. Nangrata had something to say about that.
All right, now, yeah, that's a good tip. That's a quality tip moment, but
that was unexpected.
You could just Shadow Realm TP away, sure. But as a wise man once said, going for the kill, that's playing to win, baby.
Ooh. They do throw out that Winter's Curse into the black hole. Maybe no, the Global. Keeps Iceberg alive.
Global used. Just defensively, good sign for Fnatic. And you know what that says to me? Get me a smoke, get it on this Enigma, and find a team fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the scary thing is he still doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Are they wrapping around? Pilot die.
Okay.
Woo!
There have been so many TPs. Okay, by the way, one of the predictions was, will there be a teleport cancel by stun? I feel like we had one so far.
Yeah.
This one was like 10 minutes, but still. It's ridiculous how many people have been getting away with it in this one.
They do spot out Silent over here to the side. Abed, maybe in a dangerous spot if they happen to have any ward. They do have Dust. Do they decide to scan or anything else? They're able to find him. No, they got him caught there, yeah. And they have Dust still on No Fear as well. Able to
oh no, the time lapse!
It doesn't hit him. Nobody gets caught by that Chrono. Excuse me, it's not Chrono, it's a black hole.
It's Universe, it's understandable.
Oh, God. Oh, it hurts.
Radiant's middle tower.
But the tier 2 tower will eventually fall.
You know, this whole time-lapse thing, it all is because, you know, he deems the current reality of the world to fit his desires. You know, he doesn't deem it to, so he just does whatever he wants. He can crawl back in time, black holes, time, you know, Weaver, he's very good about these things. He sensed that black hole coming. It puts the little Weaver tingly hairs, they stand straight up, gets on out of there.
He knows what
simply the lore.
That little bug is scary. Spooky bug. 11K, net worth lead now as Winstrike are continuing to just lay their foot on the pedal. And I mean, again, you see these little moments here, DJ. You try and get down some vision, make sure you can take a fight if you happen to be able to win one by your base and maybe make a smoke out play or something, but you got to win that first fight first.
Yeah, and that sentry that caught out Abed too, it actually ends up expiring, and you know what's going to happen. The Rainier are going to come over and throw a sentry down, trying to deal with that high ground, and they're going to be really sad it's already gone. Their Ancients have been warded up by a nice little play there from Winstrike, just slowing down the economy of the Drow Ranger.
Terrorize immediately into Silent, but the snowball save, able to interrupt it, and the global, it's back up. They caught themselves, the Clinks. Once the TP out of there, is it going to happen in time? Yes, indeedy doody. He's out.
At least they figured out one good solution to the heroes on the side of Winstrike.
Yeah.
Paladai, is he a dead man? Observer Sentry, those are dire Observer Sentries.
Well, Iceberg just looking at him. He wants to make him think he's okay. And
oh, he actually had no mana. I was wondering why it wasn't just Brace, but he had to wait. Oh, and now back up top. There's no Terrorize. We just saw it attempted there, and they're diving the Shrine.
BKB immediately. What's your answer to that one? They don't have Black Hole for 50 more seconds, and wow, they need to be a little bit careful. Are they going to still fight this one? Shards kind of blocking things off. No fear. Maybe in a tough spot.
They're just making space for the bottom lane. Pugna and Shadow Fiend.
Oh, they're taking it.
Yeah, they got to make their way down here.
Although Winstrike need to be careful. The Aegis is expired, and they're wrapping around with the Drow. If they can cut them off here.
Back to DJ. He's going for the kill on No Fear.
They've also got over here to the side Iceberg. He just decides to turn around and see if they can take him down. They take down one, but Iceberg will eventually fall. Meanwhile, as you said, up here to the north, Paladai going to get ran up by Silent. A good cold embrace keeps DJ alive, but only as long as the Scoochie cooldown. As Paladai will be found up on the high ground, and the punches come through for the kill, +2 Silencer.
Yeah, DJ was able to get the kill on the Tusk, but it ends up costing a couple extra there. 1,200 gold going over to Abed, though. And then the secondary engagement, relatively even, but a big boost, 542 actually, to the Weaver. So Silent heading in towards a little bit of damage there with a Maelstrom being picked up.
This is a hero that we've seen get out of control time and again as you get to those later stage items, and particularly the talents. You know, 20, it's good, it's not amazing, but when you get to 25, that's when things get really scary because it's so hard. Like, what's been the main source of initiation? It's been DJ getting to Terrorize onto him. If he's moving around at that amount of movement speed, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be very difficult.
Although they probably have Blink Black Hole by then.
Well, Universe has made it to the GPM talent, so they're hoping that'll help get them to those next items, the BKB, the Blink Dagger, but there is still always the ever-present issue of the Silencer. If you blink Black Hole with your BKB, Global Silence will still go through and stop you from doing everything.
Now, an Aeon Disc is going to be the choice for Pugna, as opposed to leveling up the Dagon, which we've already seen. Stay at level 1. But he's had himself a very, very good game and continuing to stay strong. Good series.
Yeah, Nongrada's looked very good.
Like, going into this, I was anticipating it just being all talking about the Iceberg show, but Nongrada has definitely shown something, I think, in this series, and probably the rest of the TI that people are going to be thinking about next year.
We'll see. For now, they're going to smoke up alongside him, see if maybe there's a gank coming his way. They're not going to end up finding any Fnatic heroes. Dire vision right now. They have some deep wards on the northern part and a couple down the south, so not sure which movements they've seen so far. Probably predicted or probably noticed where DJ's gone, and he's showing himself on the wave anyway, so they're going to try and get a little bit closer to the base. They go for the ward out of smoke, but that's spotted. Tricky maneuver, but doesn't work out in the end.
Get the D wards working. As you said, Abed not there with them, nor is DJ.
They did quite a bit of damage last time, though, so this really helps the chipping here from Pugna.
It is great, and they had decrypt the nether ward as well, so they can't just take it down right from the get-go. Iceberg slowed, but not stopped. No glyph available.
Is under attack.
Pugna wants to, he just goes up for
this
another.
is a sick nether ward spot. They can't actually see it.
That's awesome.
They can see it now, but it's very difficult. They actually placed an observer ward that gave vision inside there. It's kind of cool.
Radiant's
I don't think it was
bottom
intentional.
shrine is under attack.
Level 20 Iceberg has the damage per soul talent. He was sort of vilified after he made his big Shadow Fiend game where he kept on going for like the magical build and all of the raises and cooldown stuff.
Radiant's
But
bottom
this time around,
shrine
just
has
taking
fallen.
that straight up damage.
Abed on the run here. Observer Sentry combo, spotting the movement from Iceberg will allow him to escape. In fact, they're going to try and start wrapping behind, maybe even baiting out Envy a little bit. Chasing No Fear, very hard kill to get.
Oh, they see him though. There's the BKB immediately. One, and doesn't even get it. No Fear takes that one for himself.
No stun required. And that almost puts No Fear into the blink deck.
DJ losing his mind slightly playing this game. And we do have Abed. They just drop a Sentry Ward right on him.
Yeah, they don't have any direct stuns really. I mean, that's obviously why the TPs have been happening so much, but
Yeah.
Abed can get away with quite a bit in this game because it's hard to just instantly kill him.
It's just a bottle hanging out. Give that one over to Nangrata so he can have the Arcane Rune. And Roche, a minute and a half away. This is pretty good for Fnatic, I would say. You'd want to be able to, you know, have that Roche right now if you're Winstrike.
Yeah. I mean, they still need the Blink BKB, I think, to win that fight, or at least have a better shot at it. So I still don't feel very good for Fnatic's chances, but
You mean Blink BKB on Enigma?
yes.
Yeah. He's working towards it. It's going to be a while, though. And Winstrike taking out the rest of the shrines since they burned through that tier 3 tower.
Radiant's
Yeah, late spawn just gives them some time to prep up for the Roche fight. They again block off this Ancient Camp. I really like this choice from Winstrike. Just easy place from the farm. Clinks keeps abusing it. You can defend it pretty easily with Observer Sentry combos, and Envy now in trouble down here.
KB is just going to try and TP out, but the damage coming through, it's too much.
It only works for so long. You know, eventually the items do come out. Meanwhile, the rat in bottom lane, Clinks getting some damage in there. Pilot Eye covering his back with a Glimmer Cape and a Winter's Curse if necessary. Tusk will be the first one to come here.
Shards go out, a little bit off the mark there. Does still have a snowball if he wants to go for it, as well as the dust, but nobody else is TPing over. Meanwhile, over here to the side, they are looking to try and maybe catch out one.
BKB here.
All right, and just gonna Requiem right on top of the TP Iceberg. Oh, that was pretty.
Oh, the tip.
That was sick.
Radiant's middle tower.
That was a bold play from DJ.
Radiant structures.
I mean, there's no other way that Iceberg finds that kill. And if DJ cancels his TP, he's dead anyways. Man, Winstrike coming in strong in game number 2. They don't care about that bottom at tier 1 tower because they took tier 3 mid, and they're pressuring elsewhere as well. Nangrata just blows up Highlight Die. Godlike spree for him. They buy back now on the Willow and looking for an opportunity for a black hole, but it's so scary. They know that Global Silence is still up.
Radiant's middle base has fallen.
And always want to fly, just has to stay in the back and not get caught.
God, that Nether Ward does so much damage. Wyvern took 486 from Nether Ward there.
That is pretty insane. That hero, just not the tankiest in the world from the get-go.
Yeah, just trying to cast that ulti. Boom.
Not to mention the fact that you've got a dig on level 2 now and continues to level it up. 18,000 net worth lead as Winstrike trying to claw their way back into this series and get themselves a 1-1 after Fnatic won a very close one in game number 1.
Well, the lead has grown much larger than the one Fnatic had over Winstrike in the previous game, to 20K now with an Aegis, with a cheese.
it is still Winter Wyvern in a black hole.
It's true. We haven't seen either, really, for quite a while. They're holding these waves. They've lost the mid-racks, lost the bottom tier 3.
Showing envy and anticipating the movements of Winstrike. Seeing if they can find a pick-off here. Radiant scan, don't spot anybody, but they just signals to them that this is non-Grotto alone. And they will find him. Always Want to Fly is here. Do they want to drop the global for him? They're actually going to. This might be a bit of a bold play. If they take this fight now after the fact, they might end up in a bad position as they're just going to TP away immediately. Winter's Curse. Everybody's out except for Pilot Die.
Dust will secure it, but okay, do they have a second smoke? They do. DJ has one, so too bad they don't have the Winter Wyvern, but they could potentially just go for the smoke right now and try and make something happen without the global silence. Very difficult play to make, though. If anything, it's just likely going to delay the high ground for another 100 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it is still a scary situation right now, and they're also building towards a Weaver Aghanims.
Aegis on the Shadow Fiend does a lot of work versus the Black Hole, too. They can just play him very far in front and try and force the Black Hole onto the Aegis, and then what's your secondary option? Iceberg focus down. Look how much physical damage he takes there. Invis saving him as there's no detection for Ovid, but still not a very safe game for the hero in a 1v1 versus the Clinks.
And as you said, if they can burn through this the first time through, as, oh my god, just jump forward the Black Hole, it's onto 1, it's okay, but is it going to be good enough? Universe just gets blown up by Iceberg, but Abed able to find that kill as well. There's going to be the BKB out from Silent as he turns onto Abed, trying to find that kill, a cold embrace, but afterwards they do have the Requiem, they have the BKB from Abed though, still keeping him alive, non-Grata. Turns though, they're able to find this kill onto the Clinks, he has a buyback, but Pylai Die also in trouble as Winstrike just going to dance on the grave as they take down these barracks.
Yeah, it's starting to look like the end here. Not a whole lot they can do. Sprays being tagged, Ice Shards in the fountain, Dagons in the fountain. Not a good sign for the game last much longer, but DJ, he's going in there.
Oh, the Snowball actually ended up killing non-Grata because they weren't sharing damage anymore, but it doesn't look like they're going to be deterred. There is still another buyback on the Clinks. Hypothetically, with this Winter's Curse, they can make a play. It's so hard
here, but yeah, very difficult.
Radiant's middle
Super
tower
unlikely, but they continue holding out hope.
Trying to see if they can find something. Winstrike. Turn now. DJ just gets almost one shot.
An Iceberg.
And the Winter's Curse, it's in desperation, so he doesn't just die instantly, but honestly, Iceberg in
Still
some
has
trouble.
cheese.
Hanging on to it. Gets time-lapse. Why not? Because they have the Weaver Aghanim Scepter. Thinking about going back in yet again. Clinks is back up in 12. But Winstrike going to walk and saunter away from this one, feeling quite happy with themselves, 2 racks up.
Okay, I'm pretty surprised them just end right there, to be honest. But every game counts, of course. You need every single win you can, so you want to fight right till the Ancient falls at this point. Buyback status for the Radiant, only the Clinks remaining, but he only DJ used the timer, so everyone else is just a gold-based thing at the moment.
Yeah. And I mean, they should be able to get that up. Anyways, it's the Aeon Disc for Tusk. Like, they're into the luxury items now that make these heroes, like, really hard to deal with. Silencer's had a Ghost Scepter for the longest time, but now also, like, the Force Staff, all these little saving things to build around their Shadow Fiend, who's up 10,000 gold over the next highest of the enemy team.
Yeah, that is a pretty nice place to be. Universe, he is ready with a 9-second BKB after that last fight. Black Hole in 35 seconds.
Are they going to try and smoke, or what's the play here? They have Black Hole in 30, like you said, and Global back up again. That makes it tough. Makes it really, really tough.
Radiant are scanning.
So Winstrike going to smoke up here. They run into Pylai Die. He does have Winter's Curse again. Who can they find? They have a ward up on the high ground. This could be a decent place for Fnatic to fight. It's, well, no fear. Living up to the name.
Yeah, he's saying, all right, you guys want to fight me? I'm going to snowball on you. That drives back the side of Fnatic with no real recourse.
DJ just checking out the Roche pit. Winstrike again. They need every win possible. Right now sitting 2-11 in the group stage. And gives one punch for a 1,200 on the end.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
29,000 net worth lead as the tier 3 tower is going to go down. They have the nether ward down as well. Iceberg just beating away at this one. Envy doing what he can. Universe is there as well. Does still have the black hole blink dagger though. He's already been used once. Can they kill off No Fear? There's the Aeon Distant Procs. Keeps him alive. And still it's Iceberg. Just hit DJ trying to take down No Fear on that side of it as they did get off the Winter's Curse. They managed to kill off one. Not bad. Now the Fear here as well. Onto Silent, but they get the last word onto DJ. Does have a Yule Scepter, but just Dagon'd.
-2 now up to 18 int there for always want to fly in. They still have the cheese. They still have BKB here for Iceberg. And Fnatic, just 2 racks remaining.
They turn their heights onto it. There's the cheese. Iceberg pops it one time. They have the glyph. Okay, the time lapse. Iceberg still low, but there's the Dagon again coming in from Non-Grata. Just does so much damage so quickly. Universe thinking about it. All right, he forces out the BKB. Silent taking a lot of damage here. And that might keep him back again. Well, until Non-Grata wants to go in and just throw in a couple nether blocks.
Yeah, it's so tempting. They still have the BKB. I think Iceberg just wants the BKB and going on this, but the black hole is the only thing stopping him, so they'll just keep on nether blasting. Just a few more. Iceberg wants his moment here, but it's inconvenient.
He does a lot of damage.
Yeah, that is Dagon 5.
Oh, there's going to be the tip. And they do finally get the Mega Creeps as Winstrike in a good position here to close it out, get themselves the win they've been looking for. Abed, they have vision. Do they have enough, though? Silent passes him by.
Casual 1k damage Dagon. That's pretty cool. It's a handy little item to have, I suppose.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it fits so well, you know, just with Pugna's kit, what he brings to the table. And again, you think about the sort of macro situation you're in. Fnatic and OG, they're both sitting 6 and 7 in the group stages. You lose a game here, you could potentially be knocked down into the lower bracket off of something like this. So Fnatic are going to fight for absolutely everything that they can here.
Yeah, but they're looking for some plays. Non-Grata buying up a Blink Dagger so he can go for assassinations. He can blink into the tree line along the side there too and start blasting if he had to, but they've actually already lost the range racks. Non-Grata got it. Okay.
Blink on Willow. The wrap coming from Abed. Seeing if he can find anybody out here to the side. He is going to go for the courier snipe. Okay. Takes it down.
Has been killed.
The Pyrrhic victory.
Yep. And just GG right there. Just like, haha. Get the last laugh, you know, the final kill. All right, marching in here once more. 6-second BKB on the Shadow Fiend. Black hole ready for Universe still.
God, it's so tough, and the Ancient is falling now. Iceberg, he's just beating away. He knows what he needs to do. They are playing this so carefully. They know their TI life is on the line. They're going to buy back on the Wyvern as soon as possible. Have that nether ward damage coming out still. They're all grouped together, but there's the blink away, and they spread out. But still, the creeps are hitting the base. Fnatic holding on with a hope or a prayer. It's feeling like a nightmare right now. The bugs are down. The damage coming in. They have fortification. Envy pops his BKB, just trying to run at him. And Abed, Universe controlled, going to be killed off. GG is called, the global after the black hole. And this is Winstrike taking it 1-1 against Fnatic.
Nobody beats Winstrike 10 times in a row. TI group stage can't stop these guys. It was a bit of a nervous lead, like just because it's up against Fnatic. It's been such a rough day for them, and you're just like, can they actually do it? Can they close this one out? And Winstrike went the full distance, got themselves the win off some classic heroes. Now they went back for the Shadow Fiend. Maybe he's not the most popular hero right now. We've seen him a couple times today, but Iceberg looked very good, got off to a great start, and Non-Grata had a great series, even though they only went 1-1. Wow, 14-1 and 13 at the end of that game.
He's a good guy. That guy, he knows how to play some Dota. Knows how to play some Pugna. The Mirana was great. Really impressive showing from them. That's going to do it for us. Day 2. Is it day 2? I think it's day 2.
3.
Is it really?
Yeah. I know. Time's flying by, guys.
3. All right, day 3 of TI is done.
He was actually serious.
You know, day 2 is also done. Did you know that?
You're not wrong.
But the other thing is that means we're getting closer and closer to finding out who is going to be in upper bracket, who's going to be in lower bracket. Winstrike with that win might make themselves into a position where they can possibly fight their way out of it.
Uphill climb.
It's tough, but it's a possibility. Fnatic go down below OG now. Scary stuff. Thoughts before we throw one last time?
looking forward to more Fnatic games, more Winstrike games. I'll be curious if they can actually do it. I thought the Fnatic draft, the Drow opener, it's tough. If you can make it work, though, it's a big threat, right? Because then maybe teams start banning that Drow in the first phase. Could be partially why Fnatic are going for it. But that in combination with the very bold decision to go with the Enigma versus the Silencer, I could admire it, but I don't have to like it.
That's fair.
And it was pretty tough in that one.
All right, ladies and gents, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Get some sleep, or wake up and watch
go
the
play
games.
Dota. That's a good piece of advice.
Go play Dota.
Yeah.
Buy more levels. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for more from the International.